The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
I love that. Now, that is Mike McGear.
That is me.
But are you Mike McGear anymore? You're Mike. You've gone back to. Are you Michael McCartney? Mike McCartney?
My name is Peter Michael McCartney, and all I have to say, first of all, has any? No, I know what my name is. I'm reading. Has anybody actually apologised for Biddly Biddly Bong? That has to be cleared up. Right or wrong?
No one has apologised. I can't find my Biddly Biddly Bong.
I can bring it live if you want.
Go on, let's have it.
A Biddly Biddly Bong.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I've got a feeling we won't know what you're talking about, Mike.
Oh, I can assure you all know what I'm talking about.
Now, I have to ask you, are you going to stay awake for this show?
Oh, shit.
Because...
Oh, sorry, I'm allowed to say...
You can say one shit, no more.
Okay,
if you do another shit, we'll have to ask you to leave.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Because you phoned me up today... It's sounding a little bit worse for wear, with respect. It was your birthday yesterday.
It was my birthday.
Happy birthday.
All day, bless you. Happy on birthday today. Yes. It was all day, and my wife looked after me. She's a good girl. She's planned London.
Wow.
Because I live up... I can't say Liverpool because I now live in the Beverly Hills of Liverpool, across the water, over the water.
Okay.
My dad used to stand on the side of underneath the liver berth, and we'd say, "Dad, what's that over there on the other side of the River Mersey?" And he'd say, "That's over the water, son." Wow. Because that was the unobtainable.
A world away.
That's where all the rich people lived.
And now you're rich.
No, I'm not rich, but I'm living over the water beyond my means.
It's all on the never, never, and that's good. But you went to see a show last night.
I did.
And being an older gentleman...
I think I did.
You fell asleep.
Well, it took me back to Auntie Dill and I in the Theatre Clwyd in Wales when we went to see one. And it's one of those theatre in the round, and you're right on the edge of the stage, you know. Yeah. And Auntie Dill was getting on, so she had an excuse. I wasn't that old then. I'm that old now. And we both fell asleep during the performance. And there's these actors.
In the front row?
That you are as near, you and Kath are as near as the actors. And there's Auntie Dillon like...
What was the play? Do you remember?
God knows. Like the one last night. Like Bono was the second bit last night. Chasing Bono.
Chasing Bono. I've heard about this. I would ask if it's any good, but you don't know.
I'll have to go back. I'm sorry, Ian Lefrene. I'm sorry, Ian.
Yeah.
Used to know Ian a long time ago. I'll tell you, Ian, if you're listening to this, this is how long. When you lived in Abbey Road.
Hey.
1,000,000 years ago.
Did he?
Before the Commitments.
Ian
before
Lefrene, he didn't write The Liver Birds, did he?
Likely Lads.
Likely Lads.
And Commitments. And
did he write The Commitments?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, you're probably right. I don't know.
Yeah. And another very famous one. Which I can't remember. But Ian Lefrene went to... that was funny. We were my wife and I were in the House of Blues in Hollywood, right? Yeah. And I was saying to Ro, I said, I wonder if Ian Lefrene came over here. And I think he lives here now. And it'd be funny if he was here. It's the sort of place he'd come to, this House of Blues. And I swear I honestly... No sooner as the word left my mouth, I said, I don't know, this can't be happening. God, you work in very weird ways. Because there is the man I used to know as Ian Lefrene walking across a very dark place with the one-armed drummer from...
Def Leppard.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're walking across this thing. I said, OK, Lefrene, don't talk to your old friend. Mike, bloody hell, what the hell are you doing? Blah, blah, blah.
I think that LSD you bought in 1966 is finally kicking in, Mike, because these stories are insane. We're only 6 minutes in.
Excuse me, there is nothing wrong with pounds, shillings and pence. Thank you.
You mentioned the Live Birds, because I know that you wrote the theme tune.
Ian, let's put it like this.
Go on.
Where have you heard that?
I'm too young, I don't remember the programme. But my dad... of course, that's it, that's the whistle.
That's what Alan Cummings said.
Right.
I did an interview with him, a telly thing.
Yeah.
And I did that for him, and he shook my hands, Mike. You know Alan Cummings,
yeah, of course, brilliant actor.
Brilliant actor. He shook my hand and said, what's that for, Al? Because now I'm on special terms with everyone in the world. You know, all the superstars. All right, Al, he probably said, no worry, Mick. You know what I mean?
I thought he was Scottish, not Irish. Or Pakistani.
And he shook my hand and said, what's that for? He says, I can get home to Glasgow and tell my mum I shook the hand of the man that whistled the Liver Bird theme for 20 years on that telly.
Now, you can't say that!
I didn't say telly.
He whispers like me, loud.
Now, listen, I have been listening to this album, Woman, a lot today.
That's a nice album. Do you know who that is?
Well,
on the front?
I do. Now, because everyone thinks it's a nun.
Yes, they do.
But it's your mum.
Me mum.
Was she a midwife?
She was a nurse.
A nurse.
They are the old... you can't see
picture?
it on the radio. Hold it up for the radio. There's a picture. All of you avidly looking, getting your telescopes out, is a picture of me mum as a nurse.
It's a stunning pic.
And a lovely picture.
Yeah.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
How about that for an album cover?
It's a great album. But everyone for years thought it was a nun.
A nun, they did, yeah. When your mum is taken from you at the age of 12, you have special memories. So when I see that lady that I only knew for 12 years of my life, then there's special things you have as children when they're taken away.
Yeah.
So whenever I see that, it's a lovely feeling.
I don't want to dwell too much. I don't want to dwell too much on the sadness. But you've brought up the death of your mum when you were 12, and I can't even begin to imagine what that was like for you and your family at that time. It must have been beyond horrific, particularly at 12. You and your mum.
12. It is very. I blamed everyone, mostly God.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. Then, as a 12-year-old child, and it took a couple of years before I thought, Michael, you keep blaming everyone, particularly this God thing. Then, but why did your mum? Very personal. She was very, very important to me personally as a human being. So why has she gone. You've got to work it out. And so I had to work it out, and I did. And I suddenly realised the horribleness of that, the blunt severage, the hole it leaves, just impossible is for a reason. And
really?
So,
you came to that conclusion?
I had to work it out, even a 12, 13, 14-year-old kid. And I worked it out of the reason why she had to go, and she went, was to teach me, for God's sake, Michael, don't waste a second of this life.
Yeah.
You've got the privilege of breathing. I haven't.
Yeah.
I'm in somewhere else. I'll see you up there soon, love. But that's the lesson she taught me.
Yeah.
Is you get on with your life, and by God, bloody listen, every second, every whisper, every breath of fresh air, every rainbow. Enjoy.
And you have, because you've never stopped working. I was reading a lot about the Scaffold, of course, which is obviously the group in inverted commas that you were in the 60s and again in the 70s. But it was more of a performance art, theatre, comedy, poetry group than a rock group.
Yeah. I got us into the pop world.
And everyone thought you were a pop band, but they only knew the hits.
They didn't know we were a pop band.
Okay.
I made us a pop band by writing "Thank You Very Much for the Aintree Iron."
Yeah.
We were not. We were a university theatre, comedy, satirical comedy, poetry. That's what our modus operandi was. That's what we were best at. And I got us into pop music by writing "Thank You Very Much" as a song at the end of our shows to thank everyone for coming, saying thank you very much for keeping the seat warm, thank you very much for paying to come in. Well, that was a song to thank you.
Did you then get confused audiences who saw you? I guess you did like Top of the Pops and stuff like that, huge hit. And so they thought they were going to come and see a pop concert.
Yeah.
And it's you three. It's Ogden, wasn't it? And McGough.
It was John Gorman.
John Gorman, sorry, not John Gorman.
Was OTT Gorman.
Yeah.
Fan Flies, all that. And a McGough poet.
Yeah.
And we once played, I think it was Lewisham Town Hall. This is to just illustrate what you've just said succinctly.
Yeah.
This place, now we're number one, right? We're big number one hit comedy group. So people have packed out Lewisham Town Hall, and there are the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 rows packed with mums and dads and children. Come to see the Lily of the Pink group. The last thing we did, we only did Lily of the Pink at the end. By which time, after the 2-hour performance, all the children were asleep.
Yeah.
And so we'll drink, wake it up, here, this is what we came for. Get up, darling, get up, it's here. So that's what it was confusing.
What were those shows like? Because there isn't any recording of them, is there?
Our shows, there is one magical one that the BBC have, and it is absolute magic. There's only one. And I found another Lily the Pink, which should have been banned, honestly.
Filthy. Because you're a very naughty man.
Yeah, well, that's taken for 6 children. That's, why.
You've worked it out now.
Yeah, worked it out, yeah. My wife, on the last 3 boys, she would never tell me how they got there. One day, if she's listening to this, when I get home, will you tell me that?
I'll send her a DVD.
Yeah, could you please?
Yeah, I will, don't worry.
Hey, listen, I've got a DVD on the new McGear album.
Now, tell me about this. Is this on Cherry Red?
Don't worry, I'll be telling you all about this. How long we got?
We got an hour. Go as long as you want. You're not going before 11, I'm afraid.
Listen, what's his name? Howard Stern in America, New York?
Yeah.
Howard Stern made that mistake when he got to the end of the our little chat.
Yeah.
I got up in the early mornings and was living with Keith McCartney out in Woodstock. Got on a train, came into New York, walked across New York to this bloke. They said, you've got to get on his show.
Yeah.
He's all the yuppies listening to him coming into New York. He wasn't as big as he is now, but he was big. He was the in one, the one. If you got on his show, he's outrageous. At this lady Robin that was in the next booth, and him, and they just chatted away. And I got on, and after about an hour, however long was allowed, he made the mistake of trying to get rid of me. I said, "Are you joking?" He said, "Sorry, Mike." I said, Well, I got up from Keith's house. I've got on a train, walked across New York, and you're trying to get rid of me. Are you joking? Well, we're just going to read the news and the weather. I said, I can read the news. And I was on for another half an hour reading the news and the weather.
Brilliant.
Well, you've only come from 20 minutes away tonight, so none of this, it took you hours to get here.
Okay.
But let's talk about the new albums. Now, these are on Cherry Red, which is an excellent record label. Love Cherry Red. They put out some really cool stuff.
This
isn't
great.
a reissue on Cherry Red, is it? No, it's not.
No, I think that's another one.
So what is the new album, then?
It is the old album, the McGear album, with... These days, you've got to be... Even our kid is putting all these extra tracks on.
Yeah.
You know, he'd automatically say, but all these little bits you have to put on to
Just for those who don't know, you are, of course, Elton John's brother.
No, no.
You're not?
No, I'm Paul the Beatles' brother.
No, don't know him. Don't know him.
Oh, I've heard of him. He's quite good.
Hold on. Did you not hear my name? Mike McCartney.
I thought you were Elton John's brother. I do apologise. We booked the wrong act.
Elton John's my backing singer. You think that's funny, don't you?
Well, no, I don't, because I know that you did a record with Jimi Hendrix and Dave Mason.
OK, sorry for banging the mic. I am in... Arcade is... Sorry for everybody in London. When I say Arcade, I'm from Liverpool, up north. And if I ever say Arcade, it means my brother or sister.
Yeah.
OK. So Arcade had a launch of his group called Wings, he was called. And so this went to the big opening night and went for a pee. As you would. I'd enjoy myself. I remember walking past Gilbert O'Sullivan dressed as a schoolboy. He'd come prepared. And so I went for a pee. I'm standing in there, peeing away. And next thing is this young lad comes in his pop regalia and says, "Oh, hello, Mike." And I looked at him and said, "Oh, hello, Reg." And because I met this young man in Dick James's studio on the first McGear album.
The music publisher, Dick James.
Started in Dick James's music place. He had a studio there. And I knew this lad from then. And he said, no, my name's not Reg anymore. He said, I'm into doing show business like you. And I said, oh, good. I said, who are you? He said, my name now is called Elton John. I said, good luck, son. He's got no chance of a name like that. And so I thought, well, he said, no, but Mike, those were great days. I said, they certainly were. What was? He said, the Abbey Road. I said, yeah, I used to record with Scaffold in Abbey Road. Well, we used to be your backing singers.
No
me
way.
And my mate, he mentioned a name.
Yeah.
Me and Charlie used to come. Because Scaffold couldn't sing, I was the only one that could get away with it.
Oh, really?
No. And so I needed for harmonies. I need that song you just played then.
Yeah.
All the harmonies, and needed someone that could sing so I can harmonise with them.
Yeah.
And so these two lads were brought in as the backing singers. And I said, I remember there were two lads to help me on my bits. He said, well, they were the best sessions we ever had. I said, oh, good, thanks. He said, no, honest, mate, you don't understand. We did backing singing all the time. Yours, whenever we came for Scaffold one, we just killed ourselves laughing all day and got paid at the end. They were the best sessions we ever did. Thanks.
I've got so many. We're going off in so many different directions. But
you
mentioned
will with me.
Good. I'm trying to keep them all in here because I want to go on all of them. But you mentioned the Wings launch. Now, Wings, they were basically your backing band for one album. Was that the McGear album?
This is where it started out with. I'd finished with Scaffold, and so that was it. Just living up in Liverpool. Our kid rang, said, what are you up to? I said, not a lot. I finished the Scaffs. That's come to an end. He said, oh, well, should we do something together? I said, yeah, whatever. Anything. Every mickle makes a muckle. And so should we do a song? I said, yeah, I'll come down now. And so I went down to London, went to his house, and we're just sitting around.
Yeah.
And him and guitar, him, Lynn and me, just round the house.
Beautiful.
And this little song just came out of nowhere. Do you love your arty jokes, etc., etc. And it was, oh, that's nice, that's a nice little song, that. And so, okay, yeah, all right, we'll do it as a single. We'll go into Abbey Road, record it, and do a single. And I said, yeah, great. And that day when we were recording, was, oh my God, I was buggered. It was when I had to do the vocals, you know, like a live thing.
In what way buggered? Not literally.
I was buggered in terms of having played what's it called, charity football match,
right.
Monty Python versus Grimm's. We'd gone into a thing from
Viv
Scaffold.
Stanchel,
Grimm's was Gorman, Gorman, John Gorman, Andy Roberts, the guitarist, I for Innes, Neil, McGough McGear, and S for Stanchel.
Wow.
So let me translate. Buggered in this context means tired. Be your northern translator.
Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine.
Where are you from, Kat?
Manchester.
Oh, you see, you need us northerners down here just to set you right.
Well, if you press your red buttons at home, listeners, subtitles will be coming up as well, so don't worry, it's all good. So you've been knackered playing football.
And so I was walking up the steps of Abbey Road. You know those steps on the you've seen it on the film.
Oh, yes.
Well, that was our Scaffold studio as well. And going up these steps, I was so buggered. It was like as though I had, those deep sea divers and those lead weight boots. I was going up the stairs to do these bloody things and did the vocals. And at one stage, this is a letter for anybody interested in production. Arcade was listening up, say he was producing this thing, and they played all the songs. Now you're into you sing now. You get down there and sing. And so
in the big studio with the stairs going up to that one.
Yeah,
wow.
The famous one.
Yeah.
That's where we recorded.
Brilliant.
Scaffold, all our stuff was in there. I lie. Lily the Pink was in the big one.
Right.
The All You Need Is Love. We did Lily the Pink in there.
Yeah.
Ask me about Lily the Pink later.
I will.
I'll tell you some gems you don't know. You don't know.
Oh, this is great.
And what's coming up, R.E. And so I was so tired that I was, it didn't love your heart, it didn't love, shit. I said, sorry, I did the second one there, wasn't I?
Yeah.
And, okay, so what happened? I said, I've just got it wrong. He said, I will tell you when it goes wrong. I'm the producer. And I thought, ooh. And so I went upstairs, and you see, this is where producers are listening. They're listening for what they've got all the stuff they want. They want you to just keep doing it till they've got it.
Yeah.
That was it. He got it. Came upstairs, and I'm listening to this thing, and I'm thinking, this guy can't sing. Call me.
Yeah.
And I said, not very good, this is it. He said, don't worry, I've got it. It's here, you've done it. But and then slowly, this thing started doing all these little tricks and double tracking. Oh, that sounds better. Oh, that's better. I used to do a Scaffold. I was used to doing all these tricks. But then this thing started to, oh, this is great. Tony Coe's sax and and it started suddenly this little gem of a what. And even I'm dancing up and down
it clicked
in the studio. And I thought, wow, that's really good. It was a lovely end product. So that was sent to New York to Linda's parents, to Linda's dad, Lee Eastman, who looked after our kid in New York, and John, his son. And so they heard it. That was it, just going to be a single. They released here and in America, full stop. And so our kid rings me up and said, and it's gone to New York, and the Eastmans have just come back to me and said, are you joking? What are you talking? This is fantastic. Why are you going to leave it there? This is so good, you two working together. This is real magic. You should do something about it. Why don't you do an album? And so our kid rang and said, what do you think? I said, oh, well, I'm free.
Got nothing on for the next 6 months.
Yeah, what are you doing? And luckily we both had this little time period.
Yeah.
He said, don't fancy working down here, it's too business. We'll come to the studio you did, the Woman album in Strawberry Studio.
That's the 10cc.
The 10cc studio. First time I walked into that studio with Scaffold were doing something, as I heard this boom, 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 boom. I'm a Neanderthal man. Boom, boom, a Neanderthal man. Remember that 10cc track called I'm Neanderthal? Yes. That's all I remember. Boom, boom, boom. Neanderthal man. And that's where we went. And we just, this magic little album. We had no idea. We went every day.
Yeah.
What are we doing today? No idea. I've done this, I've done that, I've done that. Here's a little song. This is, I've finished this one. Okay. And it was things like the last one, The Man Who Found God on the Moon.
That's a song.
That
is a tune, man.
I like that one.
That's a great one.
I like that. So that one was in two parts of the studio. I'm working at that end in reception. Our kid is down in the studio doing his guitar, whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
Denny Laine was in there as well.
Lovely Denny Laine. We've had Denny on the show. He's a top bloke.
Lovely man. And what a great singer.
Oh, he's incredible.
Moody Blues Go Now. What?
I heard they've re-released that first Moody's album, and they've put a slower version of Go Now.
It wasn't on Cherry Red Records, was it?
No, it wasn't Cherry Red.
Or Esoteric.
I can't remember who it was on, but they recorded at the time and never released it, a slower, bluesier version of Go Now. Man, his voice.
Yes.
It's just incredible.
Yes.
It's got that kind of, like, that gruffness to it in there,
Beautiful.
a grit.
Beautiful. So he was there.
Yeah.
And that's all. We just did this album slowly came together. And they sent me the acetate of the new McGear album. Here it is. Hadn't heard it for 44 years. 74. Recorded in 74.
Is that weird, listening to something 40 odd years? That must be like time travel.
Yes. So, but I had to do it. I had to pass the acetate.
Yeah.
And so I put it on. I didn't have any. Nowadays, where's the gramophone gone? Who's got a gramophone? How can I borrow your gramophone? I bought one to do the tapes outtakes and old tapes of that, and that's what we've got on the new.
Oh, mate.
Honestly, wait till you hear.
When's that coming out?
That is now April.
Okay.
And you won't believe, I'll read what they've just told me today.
Brilliant.
Is going on that album. And these little outtakes are absolute. And so I had to, but the main thing is, like, listen, and so all I had was this little machine with a what do they call them? Those things you put the record on, a turntable,
yeah.
A turntable on the top, and then a cassette. You can put cassettes in it,
yeah,
and you do
CDs. Very modern.
Yeah,
a music system,
a music system, and so there on the top was a turntable.
Yeah.
So I put a record on the turntable with a shh. Remember that? Put that on, and it went right into this song of Sea Breezes first, the ferry one, and I'm thinking. Oh, little speakers, tiny little speakers. I think, wow, that's strong. And then I'm suddenly listening to this, what it was. All the people that came along because they wanted to be there. It wasn't a job where they had to be there. Like Lily the Pink story later on, is all those people were session people, and because they had to get their job. All the people that were on the McGear album were friends like Paddy Maloney from the Chieftains. Can you come over and do a little aeolian pipes on one, etc.
It makes a difference when everyone's there because they want to be there.
Yes.
There's a completely different vibe.
And that,
it's like Kath does not want to be here.
Yeah, I've noticed.
And that vibe.
She wants to get back to
sucking all the energy out of the room.
Yeah.
I'm doing my best. Yeah. He won't send me home.
I won't. She's contracted to stay here. She will say. But yeah, you said when everyone's there, you're not allowed to talk to each other, please.
Why could you understand us?
We've been holding hands the last half an hour.
When everyone's there because they want to be, you can hear that in the record.
You really can.
Yeah.
And I hadn't heard it for 44 years. And some listen to this thing, I think, bloody hell, that's good. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, the musicianship in that comes onto the second track. And what do we really know? What do we really? And then in the sessions, I'm saying, okay, can somebody take it now? Jerry Conway was my drummer from these albums here. And our kid was using this thing to try people out. And so Denny was in there for the Wings, for the new Wings. Jimmy McCulloch came in later, etc. And another drummer came in instead of Jerry Conway. But on the McGear album, I said, okay, this one here, it'd be great. We had a little breaks of a little. Now, drums, Jerry, can you do a drum? Jerry, can he do a drum? Bloody hell. So you, and then Paul, can you do a bass solo? He said, a bass solo? I've never done a bass solo in my life. So can you do one now? I think it's the only one. You work it out on any of his records. Has he ever done a bass solo?
He's from what I've read about Paul McCartney. I have to say Paul McCartney. It sounds weird me just saying Paul. He's never.
That's my brother, by the way.
Apparently so. I thought it was Davy Jones from the Monkees, but I got it wrong. Apparently, he's never been very confident in his bass playing, despite being One of the greatest bass players of all time.
It is like John. John was afraid of his voice. John didn't want it like Jimi Hendrix. These people, you listen to these people and you think, my God, John Lennon is and they echo, more echo, more reverb to drown. And these people, you are like gods. Have the little things that they, and so I didn't know that. So I said, well, so can you do a drum? What's it called?
Bass.
A bass. So Jerry does drums, you do bass, and then I think it was Denny does the end guitar. I've got to meet him and find out which was Jimmy McCulloch and which was Denny guitar. And so I just let it go, and I heard it the other night, and then hear the drums. You said, wow. Yeah. God, he's a good drummer. And then suddenly, the bass player, great, comes in, nice little solo.
The bass player.
He's all right, yeah.
Yeah, he's good, actually. And then the next one was the guitar comes in, I think it was Denny, and then it goes quiet. And then what I've done here, I'm now going to take you to another world now.
Oh.
I'm now going to take you to a cartoon world.
Okay.
A cartoon world of weirdness, of weird characters. One called Blob, who talks like this, and one called Beaky, who talks like this more, from Brooklyn, as it were. And these little characters are, I have introduced this lovely music that comes next after those solos as the start of the Weirdo cartoons. I'm going to release them both in April.
Weirdo cartoons.
So I've got them here. I was going to line it up, but the taxi was late. I will show you, and I will show all your listeners. I've got a little excerpt.
Brilliant!
A very, unique, historic.
I need to take a break.
I've been desperate for a break for the last half an hour. Can I have one with you?
Yeah, yes, you can. I want your Lily the Pink story when we get back, please.
You'll get it.
Oh, I want it.
Hey.
This is Talk Radio with Iain Lee, Catherine Boyle and Mike McGear. Stroke McCartney. More after this.
Stroke McCartney.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
Unfiltered Night Talk with the original king of unconventional conversation on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Well, during the break there, Mike McCartney just solved Brexit. Mike Blank just solved...
Mike Fab.
That's what I nearly
Mike
was.
Kebab.
Fab, not Kebab. That was one he didn't choose.
I nearly was Mike Kebab, Mike McFab.
When you were coming up with the names, the surname, was there a long list?
Well, we had in Liverpool, I don't know whether you got it down here, we had something called Beatlemania in Liverpool, which was getting a bit out of hand. And so I thought having McCartney as a surname is rather like having, being Mike Presley or Mike Sinatra.
Reg Presley.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Elvis Costello. And so I thought, this is silly, so I'll have to change it.
Yeah.
To go on the telly. And so, okay, what are we going to do? And one of the things, J.B. Donlevy's Ginger Man. And I was nearly Mike Dangerfield.
Oh, that sounds like a spy.
I don't think it would have aged very well. Okay. Mike Dangerfield.
Well, still not bad. I was seriously, but around Liverpool at that time, the two words that everyone used were fab and gear.
Fab and gear, yeah.
Before they were plagiarised in America.
Yeah.
By my brother and his chums. Then just ordinary things. Oh, it's fab. Look at that fab. Look at that gear. Oh, she's the gear, etc. And so at one stage, I was nearly Mike McFab. And I thought...
Sounds like an ice lolly.
Yeah, thank you. I thought, that's a bit too silly, Michael. How about Mike McGear?
It works.
Sounds Irish.
Yeah,
I'm Irish. So that sounds better. So I became Mike McGear.
I saw a brilliant... I was falling down the rabbit hole on YouTube today, and I saw a brilliant clip of you and the scaffold on the Mike Douglas show in America.
Oh.
I hope you don't mind me mentioning this, because it's a really uncomfortable clip to watch.
Oh, it's wonderful.
I'm glad you think so. I'm guessing 68, and it is the height of the Paul is dead rumours.
Okay. Do you want to hear the story? Do you want to hear?
Go on.
All I'll tell your listeners is you're going to say it the way you saw it on the telly.
You got furious with the guy who came out with all the facts.
It's like solving Brexit. It's no good talking about it.
Yeah.
You've got to really, sometimes, you've got to be honest. You've got to tell people the truth.
Yeah.
And so we were brought down from New York to somewhere, wherever, Detroit, wherever it was, to film this, because it was British Week.
I say.
British show.
Yes.
And there is Douglas Fairbanks Jr., very English, doing a sword fence on the telly, because he's English.
Yeah.
It's British Week. And so, smashing. And there's Scaffold. Scaffold brought you down from New York to be on British Week, or British Day, in Detroit, wherever you are. And so, yes, smashing. And suddenly they put us in the audience. I thought, that's a funny place to perform.
Yeah.
In the middle of an American daytime.
Surrounded by lots of old ladies.
Old ladies, it's Middle America.
It's a great clip.
This is Middle America. Yeah. Daytime.
And you guys with the long hair.
Oh, yeah.
The woman with the comb over.
Oh, yeah.
McGough looking outrageous.
Kind of spot the Brits.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Pop posers. And so but we're wondering, what the hell are we doing in the audience of this daytime live Middle American show? And it slowly transpires. Suddenly this guy, Douglas Fairbanks Jr., has finished fencing. And next one is, here he is, the DJ from LA. And okay, what's all this about? Oh, so and he starts talking seriously to this DJ, and the DJ is talking seriously to the man. And we look at Scaffold look at each other, because this guy is talking about Paul McCartney is dead.
And he's got all the albums, hasn't he?
All
the evidence.
The albums, the evidence of there on the Abbey Road crossing with the no feet and whatever it is, etc. And he's talking this absolute rubbish. Just coming out, spewing out of his
very,
mouth.
very seriously. Very straight.
Very serious and very straight. And I'm thinking, at first, we look at each other, that's why we're down here.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. We'd heard about it. But oh, no, this is so gross. But so we sit there patiently, and suddenly they make the mistake of having all this proof that this DJ from LA has given America, this is a right across America show, big telly. And so they suddenly said, well, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, thank you, DJ from LA, whatever his name is. We happen to have Paul's brother, Mike McCartney, sitting in the audience. Mike, what do you think of this? God. Paul is dead. And so you on the telly, it was just a second, and I just thought, now then, young man, do you know what you've done?
Yeah.
How horrible that you have done. Can you imagine these little children that love that group my brother's in, suddenly to hear on like 9/11, or watching 9/11 before we came out here, everyone's there's what's his name, the president, looking there telling all the children.
Bush, he's reading, wasn't he?
And they deliver the news to him, and he suddenly goes into a trance. And suddenly, everybody's in a trance, and suddenly they've got to come out this trance. They've got to come to reality. So I said, please, sir, the second that you said to America that my brother is dead, can you imagine those poor children or people who were nervous disposition or ill or heart attack, something, and what you have done to them, the shock of that. And now you're coming on national television here, proving absolute lies. You're saying, let's be honest, what you're doing now is lies. And I was just got...
it's a great rant, but you managed to hold it in a lot, because you're obviously fuming.
Very, very, because it was such a nasty trick.
Yeah.
And so, this is not the way I want to spend my career. And so to go for this guy and just tell him how vicious, how nasty, how wrong that... Suddenly, let's go to an ad.
There are two... You and Gorman do two great lines. One of Mike Douglas, I think, asks you, when was the last time you saw your brother? And you said 2 weeks ago at his funeral, which was a great line.
That's a good line.
And then someone says later on, I saw him recently, and Gorman taps you on the shoulder and goes, yeah, but he didn't look very well, did he? Which is, and it's delivered so deadpan.
That's good.
But also what is great is you say something along the lines of, the biggest crime you've committed here is, you've been boring for 10 minutes.
Yes.
You've been boring.
Yes.
You've bored people.
Ian, there is no bigger crime in my book than being boring. Just imagine. Yeah. I mean, well, it's rather like now. The amount of people that have turned off since we got on. Can you remember? All asleep. All like the front rows.
They're waiting for the Lily the Pink story.
Yeah, so they'll get it.
Well, give it to them.
I'm going to finish off this story of going up. We'd done the thing.
Okay, go on afterwards.
Cut to an hour.
Yeah.
This is live telly. Cut that. Get the Frosties off. For God's sake, get away from this madman who's coming down, destroying American civilization. Get him. And so get him out and up the stairs. And there was a spiral staircase which went up to the green room from the studio. And ahead of me was the DJ from LA. And suddenly he woke up as he's going up the stairs and realised his career was over for being so stupid and being so, you know. And so he just looked down at me, saw the cause of his demise, cause of the end of his career. You.
He went for you?
Ooh.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
They had to pull him off.
Cheeky bugger.
Yeah.
Because in the clip, he starts backtracking and going, "Look, I wasn't saying that he was actually dead. I'm just presenting the."
Yeah.
He went for you.
Yeah.
And because here's the thing, I've always loved that myth that Paul McCartney is replaced by a Scottish actor in '66 after a car
Because it's so
crash.
ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous. But watching that clip with you, it made me think, oh God. But he's a real person. Paul McCartney's a real person.
You're not. You're joking.
No, honestly.
No,
I know.
Now you tell me.
He's got family, and I
hell.
could see how upset you were that A, you'd been stitched up, and B, that someone was presenting this utter bullshine
That's right.
to you.
That's right.
And we're expecting you to somehow respond with, well, OK, the truth's out. You found out how dirty. It's your brother he's talking about. And it never dawned on me in that way before.
No, but as I say, there are certain times you go like Brexit. You want the answer to that next, don't you?
Go on.
Okay, not at all. It's like, there are certain times in your life. It's like that thing in my mum, the lesson she taught me. Wasting 1 second of our talk here, you're wasting time.
Yeah.
And we've just said boring. It's the worst thing you can do to anyone.
Yeah.
And so that's enough. That'll do.
McGough McGear album.
So you don't want to hear about Brexit? Sorry, McGough McGear album.
68?
There is the cover of the McGough McGear album.
Yeah.
You see the two little gnomes.
Yeah.
The Ruth's gnomes, little baby gnomes, and garden in the gnomes. But there...
Baby gnomes.
On little baby gnomes. And it's as though they are... Somebody has put... there's a window.
Yeah.
Right? And it's all steamed up. And somebody has cleared it, like in a bath steaming up, and you clear the mirror, and the two little gnomes, you can see them outside, right? That steamed up thing was actually Versailles Palace. I was there with Una and Tara Brown. Tara Brown was the young man, Day in the Life.
Day in the Life in the car,
His mum was the lady Ora Moran Brown. Got a lovely picture of them on the Versailles floors, go up and down like that. Magic herringbone floors, but the windows here that I had to take a photograph of. Can you imagine? You look at that album again, and you will see it's graffiti 1803 etched into the thing. Graffiti was around in 18 with the French public scratching into the window.
Magic.
1803.
Isn't that fantastic?
So that's what that window is. That's the cover of McGough McGear.
It's a great album. It's kind of a psychedelic treasure. Hendrix was playing on it. How many tracks did he play on? And he was playing bass, wasn't he? He wasn't playing...
Guitar.
He was playing guitar.
Guitar on it. Quite a few of you. There's a lovely end one called X-Arts Tune.
That's the song. That is. Do you know what? We'll play that. Are you all right to stick around till 11:30? Or have you got
cool.
half 11?
I'm good.
When we come out at the news at 11, we'll play X-Arts Tune.
When I've read the news.
Well, when you've done the news, when you've sold Brexit,
and
we'll
the
play
weather.
that. It's a funny song. It's a brilliant song. It's got that little sitar breakdown in the middle.
You use that end thing, and you can hear Graham. It's beautiful voices. Oh dear, do you want Lily now?
Yeah, go on.
As it comes to Graham.
Oh, let's have it.
Right, this is all you lot that have heard of a song called Lily the Pink, the Pink, the Pink. Do you ever see an ad on the telly?
Yeah.
This will be 1968. And I always told people, that Thank You Very Much, the song I wrote for Scaffold that got him into the pop business. I always said one of the guys that used to love it was the Prime Minister of Great Britain.
Yes.
Harold Wilson.
And the Queen Mum.
And later, I only found that in the Castle of May.
Yep.
Years later. But the first thing I got away with for years was saying, Prime Minister Harold Wilson's favourite record, you know that? I wrote that. And so Radio 4 rang up and said, oh, Mr. McCartney, whatever the hell your name is, we have been asked to ask what is the Aintree Iron. And so I said, oh, well, I wrote this song called Thank You Very Much for the Aintree Iron. Our kid said, don't do Aintree Iron, it's too oblique. That was the one that the headlines for years. What is the Aintree Iron?
I've always thought it was an erection.
Well, you can think what you like.
I thought it was rhyming slang.
No, you can go give me more. You whatever you give me, I'm going to shoot you down. I wrote the thing.
So
I don't think you know what it's about, Mr. McCartney.
Oh yes, I do, and it's up to you to prove otherwise. So, what do you want, Lily?
Go on, give us. Go on.
Okay. Question 1: Who played bass on Lily the Pink?
Hang on a minute. You're asking me. I was supposed to be asking you this. Who played bass? Was it Paul? It wouldn't be Paul.
That's a good guess.
Yeah.
I am in Abbey Road number 1, the big studio.
Yeah.
The All You Need Is Love studio, and session men were in, and so I am saying to Mike Vickers, who was he did Manny Man, Mike Vickers.
Yeah.
And he was doing the orchestral, the musos. Norrie Paramore was the producer.
I've never heard Manfred Mann abbreviated to Manny Man. I've never heard that before.
Because you've never been in the presence of Mike McCartney,
McAnything. And I'm in the control bit and looking out at the big studio. I'm saying, what's he doing there? And so Mike says, just came on, session. So I said, I'll go and have a word. So I went out and got him to one side, all the session musicians, all the best you can do, all reading from the dots.
Yeah. And
so I said to this gentleman, just thinking, whatever you want on this, He says, all right, Mike, I was thinking, on this one, I've read the thing. I think the best thing on this song is boom, 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 we'll drink a boom, 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 boom. And I said, whatever you want. Seeing as you're the bass player out of the Cream, you have that right. You couldn't make it up.
That's incredible. I did not know that.
Honestly, Mike, I've got to tell you, I think the best thing, and you listen to it, and again, another one you've got to listen to.
Yeah.
If you ever hear the number 1 hit, right, when it comes to the Jennifer Eccles verse, Jennifer Eccles had terrible freckles, and the boys all called her name, so they gave him medicinal compound. Now he joins in all their games, right? Listen to that next time it comes on the radio. You won't believe how obvious this story is. There was a Jennifer Eccles, a group called The Hollies.
The Hollies, Jennifer Eccles,
so
great song.
I rang this man I used to know rather well, called Graham Nash.
Oy.
So I said, hey, Gray, what are you doing tomorrow? He said, why? I said, we're doing a track, this daft song called Lily the Pink, and we're doing a spoof of your Jennifer Eccles, had terrible freckles, you'd just been number 1 with. Can you come and sing it? He says, sure, be down. So next thing he comes down. You listen to that record. Honestly, you will not believe it. I heard it on telly the other day. They've found another version of Lily the Pink. So what's it called? Very unthingy.
Unthingied? It's unthingied.
It's unthingiable.
Yeah.
Because at the end, their scaffold, very bad. There's only one Lily the Pink thing. That's us in our white suits. If you ever see that on the telly,
yeah, there
was only one scaffold singing Lily the Pink, and it's us on the telly. We've been singing it for a year, so it comes to this telly show, and we got bored. We don't want to sing the same thing bloody again. So we said, right, okay, don't tell the producer of the programme. Everyone swap the end line of each other's verse. So if you ever see that on the telly, it makes absolutely no sense. Oh, Mr. Frears had sticky out ears, and it made him awful shy. So they gave him medicinal compound, and now they move him round on wheels. You listen to it on the telly, watches in our white suit, and everyone, the producer was furious. What the hell, how dare you?
Yeah.
Oh, we got bored. Sorry, pal.
The humour is in a lot of the records. Even Woman, which is a great pop record, pop and rock record. But then you got songs like Edward Heath stuck in there. You know, little odes. The humour, and we've only got a minute before we go to you reading the news. So I hope you've got it prepared. But the humour is constantly.
Have we been going for an hour?
Yes, mate.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, I know. But this isn't going out on air. This is just the warm up for us. We start the show at 11.
Oh, 11. Okay, great.
I hope you know that. This is just the rehearsal.
Yeah. Can do the weather as well.
But the humour is, and the wordplay, and I guess if you're working with Roger McGough, who is a genius, you know, when it comes to messing around with words, and yourself, and Viv Stanchel, I mean, man alive, that guy, Sir Henry at Rawlinson's End.
Okay.
Have you seen the film of that?
No, I've seen the play of it.
Wow, the film is just insane. But that guy, what he could do with language and words.
Well, those words, there is a bit on the outtakes of these things, this McGear album.
Yeah.
I have the tape of Viv doing adverts for Dance the Do.
Oh.
Right? And this is Mike McGear's, his donation to the nation. Do the do, dear boy.
Oh,
I've got it, and it's going on.
Is it going on? When we come back, I want a full list of what's going on. Wouldn't it be so wonderful if we could say, oh, and tomorrow night's show we got Viv Stanchel in the studio. Wouldn't that be lovely?
That would be lovely with me mum.
Oh, wouldn't that be wicked? It would be delightful.
He was what a one-off.
Oh, unique.
Him and Mooney. They were the one-offs.
I bet they were a nightmare at times.
They were.
Yeah,
great.
We're going to have a little break. I'm not going to give out the phone number because I'm too joyous just talking to him. We've got another half an hour.
I'll tell you then.
What, you're going to do the news?
Yeah, the phone number is 03444 991000.
It's crib sheet.
Who's giving you this?
It's a cog. It's my cog. It's from the Liverpool Institute High School for Boys. We call them cogs. Deanie.
I knew he was going to be trouble, Catherine. I said I didn't want him in.
I hoped so.
We're going to have a short break. We're going to come back.
Drink, get a drink, the pink. Oh.
We're going to have a little break, dear listener. We shall be back shortly with more Mike McCartney. This is Talk Radio.
Yeah.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
She's an ex-art student. She's an ex-art student. An ex-art student. She's an ex-art student. An ex-art student. She's an ex-art student. Ex-art student. Ex-art student.
Rembrandt and Bruegel, Duchamp and Kay, Rubens and Renoir and Degas were friends. Rico, Kandinsky, and Rodin and Splash, Oscar, Kokoschka, and Vincent van Gogh.
Meet her and don't feel you live without passion. Hold down a dull job in a world of low fashion. Ambition once quickly is limpid, is static. Portfolio, your dreams lie now in the attic. Attic, 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 attic. Ex-art student, ex-art student, an ex-art student, ex-art student. Meet her, she don't feel you live without passion. Hold down a dull job in the world of your passion. Ambition, one quickly is limpid, is static. Portfolio, your dreams lie now in the attic. Attic, 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 attic. Ex-art student, ex-art student, ex-art student, ex-art student. Meet her and don't till you live without passion. Hold down a dull job in the world of location. Passion when quickly extinguished its static. Although your dreams are now enigmatic.
Half wang on in the 60s. I said wang. What is lovely, I didn't realise it was Jane Asher doing the vocals.
On that, yes.
Graham Nash doing the harmonies, you can hear.
Gray, yeah.
Hendrix doing the guitar, and God bless you, Mike, you were miming Jimi Hendrix playing the guitar, and you would have been there when he did that.
No, the best one was on So Much in Love. And I said, I'm sorry, Jim, we're doing Arcade with another track. Would you like a drink? Because what do you give superstars to, they're giving their time free?
Yeah.
And he said, no, man, it's cool. No, I had all on a table on the Delaney studio, table of beer, wine, vodka, anything you wanted that I could pay you back to say thank you for coming. Couldn't pay them bloody money. Even I couldn't. And so, no, I'm cool. I'll just sit and I'll just rehearse. And I said, okay. So I sent him the track. I said, okay, it's working in here. And so he said, oh, that's all right. And he sat on the floor. And he's just doing his own little guitars, his latest number one. And so the next thing is we sent him the track through, So Much in Love, diddly-doo-dee-doodly-doo. And so, Jim, just you come in for the solo bit. Okay. And so, So Much in Love, da-da-da-da-da-da. Right, so on. Okay, just finished Pepper, so he was used to these sort of freedom. And I go, oh, yeah. And so I said, wow, what do you think? I said, yeah, very. He said, what's wrong? I said, well, he didn't come in the right place. He said, are you going to tell Jimi Hendrix that? I said, I will. And so I did.
If anyone was going to tell him, it'd be you.
Yeah, of course it would.
Oh, well, no, as I said before, solving Brexit's next. So I went out into the studio. That picture. Now, this is an interesting picture.
Yeah.
This is just, honestly, this really happened. There is Jimi Hendrix sitting on the floor with his knee next to mine. And so I am doing the thing, and it's right. He said, Mike, I don't know the song. Can you just tell me when to come in? My pleasure, Jim. Our little cans on. Are you ready? Now, Jim. Tapping him on the knee to go.
Oh, mate!
I swear.
That is beautiful.
That's how I got Jimmy in for his solo. And so we did a couple of takes. And so I said, how was that? I said, oh, yeah, you came in the right bit. That's good. That's good. And so that went back into control.
What does Jimi Hendrix's knee feel like? Has he got a nice knee?
Just like yours.
Wow, Rockstar knees.
So get back in the control room. And so our kid said, OK, so do you now know? I said, how do you mean? He said, well, yeah, the first one. I said, yeah, that was good, wasn't it? He said, oh, good, Michael, you're slowly getting it. And the one you've just done. I said, it came in the right place. He said, but what was it like? I said, it was good, but it wasn't as good as the first. He said, good, Michael, you've learnt the lesson in production. Well done, Michael. Tape up, can we have the first one, please? And the engineer said, what do you mean the first one? We've been wiping everyone. No tracks left, we've been wiping.
That's your fault, that.
My fault.
You ruined rock. You killed rock.
Great, isn't it?
So the McGear album, coming out in April.
Yeah. Oh,
on
listen,
Cherry Red. This is your cue.
I've just been told. Are you all queuing up? I've just been told that the McGear album is on luxury vinyl.
Oh, hang on. What's luxury vinyl?
No idea.
How's that
it's obviously better than normal vinyl.
Yeah.
This is luxury vinyl.
Cheap rubbish.
And I didn't know that it was cut at Abbey Road.
Oh.
I didn't know it was. That's apparently the best place to cut them. It's got a double gate sleeve, which all you Americans listening are going to be so chuffed with that.
Yeah.
I went over on the first time it was released in 1974, and the Americans thought, oh dear, I've just heard the thought of me and Derek Taylor listening to God on the Moon. I'll come in next time, I'll tell you that.
I want to hear about Derek Taylor. I'm a big fan of Derek Taylor.
Oh, he's wonderful.
Yeah, I bet.
That's the reason I went to America.
He was the publicist for the Beatles, then went over and worked with the Beach Boys. He's the guy that labelled Brian Wilson a genius.
Yeah.
And the stories I've heard about him, he sounds like an incredible character.
He was an incredible character. At one stage, Paul Myers, Mike Myers' brother, and I were talking.
We've had Paul on the show as well.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we
Good
had him a
man.
couple of weeks ago. Yeah,
He's
great.
a good man. And we were talking about doing the definitive Derek Taylor documentary.
Yeah.
So that would be good. Got a lot of letters from Derek and lots of memories.
That would be amazing.
At one stage in the McGear tour across America, he says, Michael, I'm going to have to leave you. I said, I'm going to Burbank, right in the middle of the tour, because we had to go from New York right across America, doing all the major cities. And he said, I've got to leave you. I said, why, Degs? He said, because you're going to make me an alcoholic if I continue with you.
I think he got there in the end. He certainly got there in the end.
He did.
Can I ask, on tangents, one of my favourite characters in Beatles folklore, and hardly anyone knows anything about him, you might have met him, Magic Alex. Did you meet Magic Alex?
Sure did.
Magic Alex, when Apple happened, and they were giving away money like lunatics.
And houses and cars.
Yeah, and this Greek guy rocked up and said, I can make you a 76-track studio. I can make you invisible bafflers for the drums.
Oh, yeah.
And none of it worked.
No.
What was he like?
He was lovely. Lovely little man. Total bullshitter. And got away with it.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Did anything he make worked?
Probably not. I hope it did, for his sake. For his conscience.
I think the only thing he made that I read that was a little box that had flashing lights on that he gave to Lennon, and that was kind of what sold him to Lennon.
And what was I supposed to do?
Flash. Supposed to flash.
Right, okay,
to make you disappear.
Boom, okay.
Excuse me, I met a man that actually did disappear. He told me he did. And after Maharishi, I was there for the Maharishi bit, the Hilton Park Lane, London. For that and first one, then
they go to Bangor.
They went to
Bangor.
No, they went to India,
right,
with Maharishi, the Fabs. But I didn't go there. But I later caught up with meditation, did it for a bit, and at one stage, there's this gentleman in a beautiful, an old gentleman. Can't remember his name now, but he came to the big posh house somewhere near Macclesfield. And so nobody is going there, nobody's saying anything. But this gentleman, I'd heard he disappeared. And so nobody is, don't say anything about disappearing. And so I'm for Liverpool, so it was very polite. And everyone said, oh, thank you, Mr. Johnson, whatever his name was. Thank you for coming, etc. Excuse me, before you go, I've heard that you have disappeared. Is that... Oh, he said, that was just a technique I said, keep going.
What do you mean disappeared? Like vanished and then came back?
No, I said, well, have you disappeared or haven't you? He said, well, these two ladies apparently, they told me, I was doing my mantra, and apparently they were looking at me, and either the vision went from either side of me, and I appeared to have disappeared.
They blinked at the same time.
They blinked.
So see, I have met a man that has disappeared. So double gate sleeve for Americans, they're going to love it because I took it over, and it's a single gate in America. They only had it didn't open up. Yeah. So that one is they're going to get that. So they're going to be there. And now I didn't know 2 CDs with this album. There's a book, with photos and promo material, a DVD.
Do you know what that is?
Doved.
It's a doved.
There's a doved.
There's a doved in there.
With the original Leave It film of 1974. Original Leave It. And then me. They said a DVD takes a lot. So can you talk about Liverpool, the album, etc.? So I went back to my old school.
Oh,
they filmed me there. We went to the Everyman Theatre, where I started off as scaffold, when we were called the Liverpool One Fat Lady Non-Electric Show, which no one could pronounce, so we became scaffold. All these stories are on that DVD.
What was it like going back to your school? That must have been fun.
It would have been good if I got in the school.
Oh.
I went to the school, my old school, that from 11 till 18, and they said, we've got you the John Lennon Auditorium. I said, it's at our old gym, because I'll tell you stories about that next time I come. Ivan Vaughan, one of the most important people in pop history, when he was a prefect. I'll tell you that next time. But they didn't answer that. Was it the gym we used to go to? They didn't answer that. So the next thing is, right, let's go to the John Lennon Auditorium. So going across, hold on, where are you going? This is my school here. Yeah. This is where the top yard here, down to the bottom yard here, that's where I got Peter Sissons with the water bomb.
Well, Peter Sissons, the newsreader?
Oh, yes. And I did, and he took me to the head.
And some very, very strange. I didn't think we could get a turn stranger than the man disappearing, but now we've got Peter Sissons.
A wet Peter Sissons.
Wow.
Listen, you go off on tangents. You haven't met Mr. Tangent
I know.
So we're going across the top yard there, and we go to the bloody art school, which I couldn't get in. I wanted to go to art school from the INE, and I couldn't get in because I didn't have enough GCEs to be an artist. 5 GCEs. That year, introduced from Switzerland, and I only had one art.
To be an artist.
Thank you.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You'll get there one day. I've got faith in you,
one day.
Man.
Well, with weirdos, have a look. So they did that. So that's going to go on the DVD. There are different mixes and outtakes.
Lovely.
On this album. 1 or 2 with Pete 18 with a Bullet Wingfield.
Okay.
He's lovely.
He's not reading this, by the way, dear listener.
And 1 or 2... Well, if you look at the telly, you'll see me reading it. 1 or 2 with Billy Merseybeat Kinsley.
Okay, yeah.
So, some of the tracks I'd forgotten. Like Pete Wingfield one, I'd forgotten that I'd recorded.
Yeah, I bet.
And the ones with Billy Kinsley, these lovely little songs, I'm thinking, that's lovely. And it's never been out.
Yeah.
And no one's ever heard it. Ever. I just found these old tapes and I did it with Billy. So there's a couple of tracks like that.
Fantastic.
That's it. And that's it. That's it. And they're all in a clamshell box.
Ooh.
Hey.
Now you're talking.
Got no idea.
Is it clam? Is it like...
Shell.
Is it like one of the round ones?
Yeah. Excuse me, I haven't finished.
Oh, sorry.
And the final deluxe thing, a poster of the Gatefold album sleeve. In this thing.
And a lock of your hair sellotaped to every single copy.
We're not supposed to tell them that
no,
yet,
that's
Ian.
the secret.
Oh,
that's the bonus.
Well, it was.
We're going to have, Sam, we're going to have a quick break, then we'll come back for another 10 minutes, then we're going to try and get rid of him if we can. We'll see. I'm having so much fun, man.
That's okay, Howard.
Thank you very much. Thank
You're
you,
very
Davey.
stern today, Howard.
Let's have the adverts, please, Sam.
The radio show for people who know the best part of the day is the night.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
Okay, we've got Mike McCartney here. I've just looked at Twitter, and there's some questions I don't understand. So I'm just going to read them, and if they're offensive to you, I apologise. Yeah. Paul says, ask Mike about his aunt and uncle's Monday roast.
No, it was simply when my mum died, we didn't have Sunday dinners like everybody else. Excuse me. We didn't have Sunday dinners because Mum wasn't there.
Yeah.
And so our aunties, Auntie Mill and Auntie Jen, used to come over on the Monday, and so we'd have Monday dinners instead of Sunday dinners. Yeah, they'd do our washing for us, because just Dad and 2 sons bringing us up wasn't easy on his own. And so
he sounds like a great man, your dad. From what I've read about him, he sounds incredible.
Mac, he was great. He used to have his own band called Jim Mac's Band.
Yeah,
and
it's a good name.
Yeah, no, he was special, Dad. The big thing about your life on this earth is when you die.
Yeah.
And you suddenly realise how important people are when you go to their funerals. And my God, the people that turned up to his with their colostomy bags staggering in, and all of them half dead themselves. But my God, we'll be there for Uncle Jim or Jim Max.
When did he pass away?
Mum was 56, Dad was 76.
Okay, right. Okay.
In terms of years.
The
year.
Graham has said, this is great. Mike should do a one-man show, but you were telling me you've done a one-man show.
I did a one-man show.
And somewhere in a theatre it's still going on, I'm sure.
Around Great Britain, and it was called Sex, Drugs, Rock and Roll, I wish.
When did you do that?
Don't know, year or 2 ago, I think.
Okay, you're a big photographer as well. You've taken pictures of us, which you have not actually asked permission for, so that's a legal case that's going to turn into. But some of your pictures are incredible. You take some incredible pictures, and of course, perhaps one of the most famous is the cover of Paul's album "Chaos and Creation in the Backyard." That is a great picture, peeking through the net curtains.
Mum's net curtains.
That's what the picture was originally called, wasn't it? Something like
it's a kid with a guitar under. Not long after she died. Most important is through Mum's net curtains.
Have you seen? I'm going to find it and show Kath because it's absolutely incredible. But what year was that taken? Because
that was taken 1900 and frozen to death, as my father would say. I've got no idea.
A while ago.
I'm going to show.
Whenever I do years, somebody tells me that no, it was that year, so I don't do years. I just.
So you brought the. Oh, I've put a load of text on it. You brought your camera with you, so photography still is an important part of your life.
Photography has been, always will be. I love taking photos wherever I am. Because they're everywhere. They're waiting to be taken. And I just do what I'm told.
I can't find. Look, I can't. The internet lets you down. I can't find a decent.
Oh, sod that.
I'll show you one later. It's a beautiful picture of him wistfully looking up, and it's through the curtains.
But if you follow Mike on Twitter, you'll see he takes pictures all the time. It's brilliant. It's like little snapshots of your life. And
we've got a birthday present for you.
Oh, you're joking.
There we go.
Birthday for yesterday.
Listen, you lot. If you're listening, I'm going to hold it up to the camera microphone. It's in lovely little striped, like toothpaste, really. They've given me a block of toothpaste. Am I allowed to open it live?
Let's open it. It's Carol.
Your birthday's been and gone.
Now listen, do you hear that ding?
Time for your medicine.
That shows you how professional I am. Always when you go into radio stations, turn your radio off.
You don't give a shit about the rules.
I do not.
Catherine chose this.
There was once one thingy I had on my phone. It would go, and one of the kids learned how to do a song on it. So instead of ding and the dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee, so whenever my phone rang, it would go. So embarrassing things like this would suddenly, and you're in a big royal function, there's the Lord Mayor, everyone, Her Majesty, and other, and suddenly this bloody thing, and everyone goes, oh Christ. And in fact, it's the guy, Morecambe Wise's, Eric Moulton's son, did this on a radio show. He said, oh Christ, there's always one. And it was usually me. But the great thing is when they're doing it in the Lord Mayor thing, and suddenly this thing goes off and everyone's going, oh my God. And then suddenly they hear, and I take it out very slowly. And the hatred suddenly turns into smiles because they like the song. Oh, can I hold on?
You can. We've got the receipt, don't worry.
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Look at this.
Brilliant.
This is.
Thought you might have fun with
this is, viewers, this is a made in China. Can you believe on the Iain Lee Cathy show, it is a cell phone lens kit. Ooh. Oh, look at these lenses.
Oh, it's actually quite a good present.
Yeah.
You were taking the piss. I'm tempted to take that back from you, McCartney.
Listen. On the iPhone, I just played on the Weirdos cartoon. I can put these on, and all these lenses. That's very kind of you, Cathy.
You're welcome.
Did you see where I went then?
Yeah, you were
That's
right.
very... No, you didn't hear. That's very kind of you, Cathy.
Oi!
See where I went then, you say E, Liverpool slang for Ian.
I would have saved your breath.
You will now be forever known
Cathy. I like it. I like that. I can work with that.
I thought you could
It's a
take
little
some
token
spacey
to say
pictures.
thank you for coming in.
That is very, very
Thank you for
kind of
the
Thank you.
records. We can't. We'll get you on the phone again when this comes out in April, and
good.
we'll sell a few copies of it.
Excellent.
What's coming up? Any apart from this coming out, obviously.
I think rap and drum will dominate. I think rap and drill.
Rap and drill.
Oh, drill music. Yeah, who's your favourite drill artist?
I think it's going to dominate 29. Do you agree?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Who's your favourite drill
I
artist?
think Dave and Frito.
Yeah.
Funky Friday. You like that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think of Stormzy? Has Stormzy had his day? Or?
Yeah, well, you mean Michael?
Yes.
My mate Michael.
Yes.
Introduced Pie Stella to me, my niece.
Of course.
This is Michael. This is my Uncle Michael. You couldn't make this stuff up. And it's true. It's all true.
Oh, no, it is. That's what's so ridiculous. Yeah. Stella's introduced Michael to him.
Yeah. Well, I've got to finish this off. I'm big on conceptually conceived collections of music that explore ideas over a longer narrative arc. Janelle Monáe with Dirty Computer comes to mind, man.
Are you getting a $5 for each of these? Someone bet you.
I just read it on the internet.
Is someone getting murdered now on the back of this code that you're issuing? Mike, listen, we've been playing tracks from McGough, McGear, Woman. We're gonna, when we come back from the ads, we're going to play. We'll play track 5, please, from that CD, which is Benna, who's your youngest.
My eldest daughter. I've
Your
got
eldest?
6 children. From Benna down to Sonny. Sonny is the youngest.
It's great. They starts a couple of these tracks on this with Benna, just like doing nursery rhymes and stuff. And then it goes into Sister, which is just a great kind of gospel-y, bluesy song.
Some nice tracks.
This is a strong album, man. This is a strong album. Mike, it's so lovely to see you. Thank you so much for coming
Ian,
in.
lovely to meet you at long last.
Catherine, nice to meet you.
Well,
Catherine?
you know.
So neither of you want an answer to Brexit then?
I think we're out of time tonight.
Oh, no.
Can you?
I'll have to come back.
Can you do an
all
answer
week.
to Brexit in one word?
No.
There you go. This is Talk Radio.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
You got to sit down, sit down, sister, and cry. You got to sit down, sit down, sister, and cry. Sit down, sister, sit down of those weary legs. Sit down, sister, and cry. You got to slow down, sister, and try. You got to slow down, sister, and try. Get the habit of reaching too high. Slow down, sister, slow down of those weary limbs. Slow down, sister, and try.
Oh, man. Well, we finally managed to get security up. They've kicked him out of the premises. He's gone. That is Sister from Woman by Michael McGear, as he's credited there. And, man alive, so many gems hidden away on his records. It's just an absolute joy. He tapped Hendrix on the knee to cue him in. I mean, it just is ridiculous. 03, we continue with nonsense, with chat, with whatever you fancy. We're not going to beat that. 0344 499 1000, the late night alternative. Let's go to Paul. Good evening, Paul.
All right, how are you? I'd like to carry on talking on the Liverpudlian like Mike McCartney did, but I know I don't talk like that, do I really?
Oh, he was tricking us.
How are you, mate? You all right?
I'm all right, thank you very much, Paul. Yeah, I'm all right. I went and saw the Laurel and Hardy movie tonight.
Any good? John C. Reilly and is it good?
Well, first of all, I didn't know it was a thing. Right, me and Kath went, and we thought it was just a press screening. And there's loads of these press screenings where you rock up and they give you a bit of wine, a bit of food, then you go and watch it. Right?
That's right. Yeah.
No, it was a thing. It was a thing. I'm stood outside the toilet, and Nigel Planer is there. And I spoke to Nigel Planer, and I said, I've just got to say, Neil's Heavy Concept album is great. Then we go downstairs. Then there's Steve Coogan there. There's John Thompson there. There's Richard Herring there. There's Dara O'Brien there. There's Alan Carr there. There's James Acaster there. There's Arthur Smith. There's Frank Skinner. Everybody was there. It was a thing. And then the PR woman said, Ian, can we come and get you for some photos, please? Now, I'm stood there in a T-shirt and a hoodie because I just thought it was. I didn't think it was a thing. I thought it was a screen. A screen. I didn't know it was a thing. And so I went, well, I'd rather not. They said, oh, come on. So then you're going to see, you see pictures of celebrities at events and there's like a board behind them with the name of where they are and they all look all glamorous and stuff. Well, you're going to see some pictures tomorrow of all these big stars there looking very smart in suits and then me in a grey hoodie and T-shirt and dirty jeans looking like, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Well, at least I personally know that it's a miscommunication somewhere that actually got to put you in that situation as opposed to, the norm. So
it's a Hey, I've just realised this is Paul Innocent, isn't it? The actor.
That's right, it is.
I've been loitering in your tube. In your YouTube.
For subscribing. Yeah, I noticed you subscribed on Sunday. I thought, my God, how lucky am I?
No, Paul. No, Paul. How lucky am I? Because I got to watch you. I watched the video. He's got a channel, YouTube. What do they look for on YouTube to find it, Paul?
Just a Paul Innocent channel. Innocent channel.
I would say do less of them with your top off. I know you're a good-looking guy.
I do a lot at home. I'm so sorry.
Put some clothes on. It's Paul Innocent, right, the actor. Oh, yes. And I was just telling him about the Stan and Ollie thing and how we didn't know it was a thing. And it turns out it was a thing. But I've been looking at your channel and I've subscribed to his YouTube channel. It's well worth having a look at. Tell the story. Tell the story of you travelling halfway across the country, leaving your house at 5 a.m. or whatever it was for an audition.
Yeah. Well, that was a theatre, a children's theatre. I trained at a big drama school for classical theatre, as you know. Yeah. And I got up about 4:30 in the morning and got on an early morning train from Houston up to the Midlands. And I was beat. I was dreadfully tired by the time I got there. The coach came and picked us up, from the actual station and took us to the TIE. That's a theatre and education theatre up in, I think it's somewhere in the Midlands. It may have actually been Leeds. I can't quite remember. But anyway, I got there, and there was this woman in her late 60s, early 70s, preaching to about 7 or 8 of us actors. And about 10 minutes into the speeching and preaching, I just went out, and suddenly I heard someone go, and I thought, oh, right, I'm here, of course. Obviously, I didn't get the job, He
fell asleep in an audition. What? This guy is an actor, and he fell asleep in an audition.
I was zonked. Ian, I was zonked. I really was. I didn't try. Here's
the thing. If ever you're asked, Paul, how do you make it in showbiz? What's your one tip? You should say, well, here's my tip. Don't fall asleep in auditions.
Precisely. Don't do that, for sure. I mean, you know...
Although to achieve that level of relaxation as an actor is quite something.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I know first, second and third concentration, darling, works, but this, some sort of way out circle I'd never encountered in an audition, I must say. But there you are. I mean, she took it personally. She thought it was like the fact, I thought that she was being boring with what she was saying. And,
yeah, it was her fault.
At all.
It was her fault.
You know? I was tired. I literally was tired. I was zonked out, you know.
How many auditions you do in a month, Paul? How's it going?
Well, these days, I've got an agent, and I have to do 9 to 5 at the moment, so I've tried to put them on hold. But sometimes, you know, you can get up to 3 or 4 a week sometimes, and a lot of it's commercials. You get the occasional movie, sometimes TV, sometimes stage.
Oh.
But if it's paying, then you go along. That's the art of being an actor, and you've got to fit it around your day job and stay alive and be in one piece. You know, I've got about 7 or 8 videos I'd recommend people to watch, because some of them are quite educational that I put on my channel.
Are these the ones with your top off, though? Because I don't...
Oh, no, I've not recommended any of them.
No,
I'm not going to recommend any of those. They're not for... No. I recommended the, the difference between acting and mimicry, episode 73. I've recommended that... There's also episode 75. How black actors from outside London fare here.
Oh.
That would be, you know. We're not going to do the Australian surf do. We can do that one if you want. You only see my face, you don't see my top. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, that's episode 101. There's episode 153 with Anthony Hopkins. If you want fame, you know, it's just when you get to the top, there's nothing there. You know, it's all a lie. It's all nonsense. So I've got that one.
I love you, Paul. If I was a casting agent... I would be giving you too many jobs. You'd be turning down jobs for me.
You'd be falling asleep on set. You'd be so tired.
Yeah, exactly. But because I like you, Paul. I like you a lot, Paul. I think you're one of the good guys.
Oh, thank you. My friends all say I'm a good guy. I was brought up well by parents, and I got a lot of love, and that kept me sane and stable in the head. We've got a few people in our industry who aren't quite the sane and stable via the lack of love, unfortunately.
Well, who's Christian Bale's nuts?
Oh, my.
Who's the Australian man who smashes phones?
Oh, Russell
Crowe. You mean Russell Flaming Crowe here? Russell Crowe.
Russell Flaming Crowe.
The one who goes mad.
He seems to have...
Russell Crowe, the one who goes mad on flaming hotels here when the man doesn't give what he wants. He throws the whole...
It's not quite as camp as that.
He seems to have calmed down quite a lot, though, doesn't he?
Actors that have calmed down. Russell Crowe, the Irish lad.
Oh.
In the phone box.
Yeah, Colin Farrell.
You mean Colin Farrell right here and now? Colin Farrell. Yeah, he's gone to America tonight. He's calmed right down.
Would we say Gibson has calmed down now?
No, well, no, I don't think we've seen half of that. Kiefer Sutherland.
I don't think he was ever wild.
He was a bit of a bad one, wasn't he?
There's a video. There's a video of him crashing into a Christmas tree.
Have you seen the video where Kiefer Sutherland sees a mugging? Have you seen that? He drives past... This is great. Kiefer Sutherland drives past a mugging and he reverses and gets out of the car, but they're actually filming a TV programme. And he doesn't know. He doesn't quite get that far. But he reverses to go and help them out. Oh, he may just shout out of the window, you know, oi, oi, leave him alone. And they go, oh no, God, no, we're filming. Sorry, we're filming, Kiefer. It's lovely. Respect to him for that.
They filmed that incident. He must look like a right plonker. Oh, my.
No, he looks like a hero, Paul, the hero that we all dream of being. Paul, always nice to talk to you. Go and check out Paul Innocent on YouTube. 0344 499 1000. This is the Late Night Alternative with Kath E. On Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
My friend James. Hello, James. Nice to speak to you. James, what did you direct that I did, James? Oh, you did.
But he said he'd get me a job in America, and I'm still waiting.
Oh, he's full of shit. But he directed a weird thing I did in the Sky. He's found a picture of me at the Stan and Ollie thing.
Yeah.
I look fat.
You don't?
I look like... shut up! I look fat!
Right.
I'm tweeting it now. That is a man who was not prepared. Everyone else is wearing suits, looking smart. I've just tweeted it. And it's me literally going, why are you taking a picture of me? I'm just wearing a hoodie. I'm wearing a really dirty hoodie that I slept in last night.
Outrageous.
I know, it was cold and I slept in it. Well, should we do, 0344 499 1000, by the way. I haven't got anything else planned for the show. So Stan and Ollie, the film.
Right.
I suppose we've got to do it, haven't we?
Yeah.
I don't want it to be like the death of Stalin, where I was the only one that came out going, I didn't really like that. But Stan and Ollie, John C. Reilly, who I'm a huge fan of, I think he's wonderful in Step Brothers. He's incredible as Dr. Steve Brule. He's hilarious in the Wreck-It Ralph movies. I think he's brilliant. He is great in this, particularly, I think, when he's playing Oliver Hardy towards the end of his life, when he was really big.
Yeah.
When he put on a lot of weight.
At that point, I stopped seeing John C. Reilly and I just saw Oliver Hardy.
Oliver Hardy. He was Oliver Hardy. He was brilliant as Oliver Hardy. There's no getting around it. And the mannerisms and...
There's all the things you want from it. There's a lot of... and all that stuff is all in there, right? I thought it was made with love.
Yeah.
A lot of care and attention, a lot of attention to detail, some beautiful attention to the mannerisms. I mean, Steve Coogan, the eyebrows with and the facial expressions.
The reconstructions from the Way Out West film when they're doing the dance is amazing. They film a bit of a Laurel and Hardy film that was never filmed, Robin Hood, right? Which the script probably exists, and they film a bit. And the one thing that really annoyed me about that was there's a bit where Oliver Hardy falls off into a river and he's looking at the camera and pulls a fish out and stuff like that. Do you know what really annoyed me about that? Is if that had been a Laurel and Hardy film, this is a really easy thing. If that had been a Laurel and Hardy film, that him sitting up in the water, looking to camera, pulling the fish out, would have been all one shot. But they had about 2 or 3 different shots in it, and that really annoyed me. But John C. Reilly's incredible. There's some incredible... It's no spoilers, but they have an argument in it. That argument scene I thought was wonderful. I thought it was really beautifully done, and it had a lot of the tension that was between the two, and I thought that was really interesting and really great. The rest of it I thought was a bit... And I don't want to do it down because I really wanted to love it, and everyone else will love it. It'll only be me that doesn't love it.
The wives were a comic turn. I really wanted to love it. I really wanted to love that film because I grew up with Laurel and Hardy, and I really admire. I think Coogan's a brilliant actor.
Oh, Coogan's great. Coogan was there. Coogan did a little bit before the thing. I love Coogan. You got to love Coogan. He's one of the greatest comedy actors ever.
I don't know whether and this is going to sound really poncy, and what do I know? But here's what I thought: they didn't give him enough to play with. There's a real darkness around Stan Laurel, and he just didn't get to it really. And I think he could have done it brilliantly, but. It just sort of seemed to scrape along the surface.
I came away feeling a little bit disappointed. But I do... thank you, Sammy. She tweeted the picture of me going, I was not dressed for the picture, for pictures. And Sammy's just saying, no one minds, you saved a man's life. Oh, yeah, so I did. Thank you, Sammy.
No, right. There was a man who was dressed to go to the pictures, right?
Yeah.
Not a man who was dressed to go to a thing where people were schmoozing beforehand.
And Joe is right. The hair is looking good. I've got to say, the hair's looking good at the moment. What it made me want to do is it made me want to go home and crack open my Laurel and Hardy box set. That is Saturday. Saturday's cracking that open and steam. I'm putting on Way Out West, steaming through it.
There are a couple of really beautiful moments. The argument, and then there's a couple of moments where, the friendship between the two really came out.
I had a little tear in my eye.
I did too.
A tear popped out.
It's not a stinker by any means.
No. And it was, it looked stunning. It just... Okay, here, it left me a little bit flat, and there were bits that I found a little bit boring, if I'm completely honest.
But you were sitting next to possibly the most irritating cinema man in the world ever,
Yeah,
right?
and his phone out for nearly the whole time, texting. You said he was taking pictures of the screen, which is illegal.
Yeah, he was taking pictures of the screen.
Fact.
I was looking across thinking, right, I know we're all on the back row, but I'm sitting next door but one to you, and you've been on that for ages to the point where I find myself looking across to see if you're still on the phone, and yes, he was. But here's the thing: he was texting all the way through it, but then occasionally he'd look at the screen and he would do like the random laugh, random loud laugh.
Now,
that's great.
Because this was a private screening at a posh hotel in Soho. It was just full of some of the most famous comedians around at the moment. And Mel Sykes was there, Alan Carr, Dara O'Brien,
James
Arthur Smith.
Acaster, I saw.
James Acaster, Skinner, Richard Herring, and others.
Yeah, people that we didn't probably notice.
So had it been the cinema, I mean, we were sat in the back row, and so he probably thought he could get away with it. Had it been the cinema, I would have turned to him and said, mate, please. But because it was a screening, I don't know if there are different rules at screenings.
What, because it's kind of work?
Yeah. But it was rude.
But they want you to they've invited you there to concentrate on their work, something they're really proud of. I think it's really disrespectful to people around you and to people who've invited you to go and watch something that is a special thing, really. Steve
tweeted in response to that picture, Iain doing his best dad in a car ferry cafe on the way to an archery weekend pose.
It's a very elaborate scenario, but I get exactly what you mean.
Thank you, mate.
Meanwhile, in the loos, I was complimented on my jumper.
Were you?
Yeah.
Wowzers.
I'm wearing my Hilda Ogden jumper with the flying ducks on it. It is pretty cool.
Hey, look, celebrities are liking my tweet. Matt Haig, Mark Watson, celebrities.
People of substance.
Hey, Matt Haig says, love this. This is so me. Well, do you know what? I'm keeping it real. Keeping it real for the dads out there, for the divorced men out there, for the lonely people.
Yeah, you're saying that now, but at the time you're going, Kath, I didn't know it was a good thing. What am I wearing? What was I thinking? Why didn't they tell me? I thought it was funny.
But I tell also, here's the thing. Sorry, just replying to also, part of me thinks maybe I didn't quite enjoy it as much as I was trying to explain this to you in the car, and I don't think I managed to get it across a bit, and I don't quite know how to explain it very well because it doesn't actually make sense. But I made myself go and talk to Richard Herring because I know him a little bit because I've met him 3 times. So I made myself go and talk to Richard Herring, and that was tough because I did say we were just stood there, and I did say I can't stand this. Let's just go and stand outside in the street for 10 minutes and come back when the film starts. And as we were going...
Because it did feel like everyone else in the room knew each other.
Yeah. And then as we were going to go and stand outside, I made myself say, let's just go and say hello to Richard. And we went and said hello to Richard. And of course it was lovely because he's a nice guy and we met his wife. And I said to him, I feel so uncomfortable. We're just going to go out and get some air. And then we went saw the cinema was open, so we went and sat down. But a lot of those people are friends. Like Frank Skinner was joking with Richard and with Arthur Smith, and Dara O'Brien came in with Acaster, and then they were chatting to Alan Carr and Mel Sykes, and Gambo was there, and all these people.
Gambo was on his own, though.
Gambo was on his own, but he started talking to Jenny Murray.
Yeah.
And not those older people, the comedians. And I just thought, I don't fit in with any of you. And it reminded me of when the 11 o'clock show was big, a show that I did 20 years ago, and that was big. And I never fitted in with anybody then. And a lot of people, I remember the 11 o'clock show and like Gervais coming back one day and saying, I met, I'll never forget Gervais told me this, right? This is a weird thing. Gervais came back to film the 11 o'clock show one day. He said, I went out last night and I got talking to David Baddiel. This was like when it was being famous was all really new to us. I said, well, how did that happen? He said, well, David Baddiel just came over and started talking to me. It's Gervais. And I said, what are you doing talking to me? I'm a nobody. And Baddiel said, I'll never forget this. Baddiel said, oh no, you're one of us now.
Oof.
Yeah.
But was he joking a bit?
Might have been.
Yeah.
Don't know. Might have been. And I remember hearing that and thinking, because I don't feel like one of yous. And I've never been one of yous. I've never been one of them lot. I've never... I've always been, from the 11 o'clock show, from before the 11 o'clock show, but from the 11 o'clock show when I got on telly, I've always been an outsider to everyone else in terms of this industry. The only kind of I suppose Danny Wallace and Mackenzie Crook, but it's because I kind of knew Mackenzie before. But I don't have Richard Herring's phone number. I don't have Dara O'Brien's phone number. But even when I was like proper famous, in inverted commas, and I'm aware how ridiculous that sounds, I'm doing it as a shorthand. Even when I was proper famous, I never moved in those circles. I went to a few red carpet events. I went to a few do's and was just... I don't speak the language. But then I also don't speak the language amongst civilians. You know, I don't speak that language.
I was going to say that to you, right? How many proper friends have you got? Because you only have proper friends, really, don't you? That you keep in touch with.
4?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you're one of them.
Yeah, and I'm flipping brilliant.
What
So well
the?
done on that. Listen, do you think all those people are real friends? Nah.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of... no. Well,
it looks like that way from the outside, but I bet it's not.
Oh, suck my balls.
Wow.
I don't know where
Listen, we're friends. We're not that friendly.
Let's go to Jerry. Good evening, Jerry. Evening, Jerry.
Sorry, I was just shouting from there, shouting a rescue tablet.
A rescue tablet?
Yeah.
Are you freezing?
Yeah, freezing.
All right.
Yes, I'll be all right. Got some good news.
Go on, what's happening?
I can say this. I've got one-to-one care.
Hey! That's brilliant, man!
Hey, James, started properly straight. It's gone really well.
How many hours a day?
24.
Hey!
I'm just hunting away for a private conversation. And then to go on trapeze, typical. Sod's law. Oh, should be all right. Yeah, 24-hour one-to-one.
Hey, mate, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Well done.
That's your... Hang on, Nick. Shut up. There we go. This is Iain.
There we go.
And that's...
And how are you feeling about it?
I think we're there a couple of bad previous, but I was stuck on the floor every 10 minutes. Before I was stuck on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
It's that good. They're happy. Do you sound all right tonight?
You sound mellow. You sound a little bit tight around the lip, but easy to understand. I'm trying not to fart while you're talking to me.
Oh, flipping
No,
it.
I am. I'm really trying, but I just you then swearing at me like that, Catherine, caused me
That's
to
not swearing. I'll
caused
swear
me to
if
drop
you-
one.
Oh. You're victim blaming.
You caused me to drop one. I want a really good. Oh, here we go. I want a really good Stan Laurel biography. That's what I want.
I've got the box set.
I've got the box set.
A big beard.
I haven't.
Well,
Still some missing, isn't there? Still some missing.
Yeah, and here's something I didn't know from the end of that film, was that after Oliver...
Spoiler?
No, I think it's well known, isn't it?
Okay.
That after Oliver Hardy died, Stan Laurel carried on writing for them.
Yeah.
Because he didn't know what else to do. Isn't that tragic? Or brilliant, I don't know.
I like Harold Lloyd, he was good.
Jerry, we got to go, because I've got to try and find a Stan Laurel biography to buy on Amazon. And that can only be done whilst the news is on. And the news is coming soon. So...
And I'm going to vacate the area until the air clears.
You're gonna make me a coffee lady, coffee lover, coffee lady lover. This is the Late Night Alternative with Iain and Kath on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
We'll drink a drink to Lily the pink, the pink, the pink, the saviour of the human race. For she invented medicinal compound, most efficacious in every case.
Mr. Fleas had sticky out ears, and it made him awful shy, and so they gave him medicinal compound, and now he's learning how to fly.
Brother Tony was known to be bony. He would never eat his meals, and so they gave him medicinal compound. Now they move him round on wheels. We'll drink a drink to Lily the pink, the pink, the pink, the saviour of the human race. For she invented medicinal compound, was efficacious in every case. Old Ebenezer thought he was Julius Caesar, and so they put him in a home where they gave him medicinal compound, and now he's Emperor of Rome.
Johnny Hammer had a terrible sister, just his hammer. He could hardly say a word, and so they gave him medicinal compound. Now he's seen, never heard.
We'll drink a drink to Lily the pink, the pink, the pink, the saviour of the human race. For she invented medicinal
and willy-nilly, when her legs they did recede, and so they rubbed on medicinal compound. Now they call her Millie B. Jennifer Eccles had terrible freckles, and the boys all called her names. But she changed with medicinal compound. Now he joins in all the games. Despite her medicinal compound, sadly Piccadilly died. Up to heaven, her soul ascended. All the church bells they did ring. She took with her medicinal
Four 499 Rich is unhappy on the old Textington.
Oh no, why?
Such first world bullshit you are spouting! Your listeners, remember them? Don't care about your so self-indulgence rubbish tonight, :, open bracket. Too self-indulgent tonight, says Rich in Alvechurch.
Isn't it a bit self-indulgent to not only shout at the radio, but vocalise it and then send it to the person, write it down, then send it to the person that you're annoyed with?
Then you can go through Rich's other... Rich texts us a lot.
Oh, does he?
A lot.
Okay.
Last text.
Share it with the group.
Again, I ask, please ban Caddick. Duplicity, ego-seeking, moronic arsehole. He is not a true listener / follower of your show and is most irritating, ; close bracket. When, if you come to Birmingham, equals, I will fight him to shut him up. As always, love your show. Have a lovely evening.
But, duplicity? What?
And there's loads of texts.
Caddick is not... Caddick cannot do duplicity.
There's just loads of texts saying he loves the show, always loves the show, always loves the show. All right, Rich, so there was 10 minutes you didn't love tonight. OK, listen, here's the thing.
Thanks for sharing.
Here's the thing, Rich. Because it's always positive texts we get from him. It's always. So I'm guessing there's something going on for you tonight that has affected your judgment. Allow me to say this. I hope whatever it is, not that affected your judgment, that's clouded your judgment, slightly different. Whatever it is, I hope it gets sorted, and I hope that if you've had a lousy day, I hope you sleep well, you rest well, and tomorrow you have a better day. That's what I hope for, OK? But also remember that I'm a real human being. That sex bot there...
Bang!
Is that what they do? Mm-hmm. That lady there is a real human being. Didn't mean to call you a sex bot. That was disrespectful to sex bots. We're human beings, man. Come on. You listen to the show. You know sending stuff like that. There's no need for it. If you don't like it, you know that you'll like something we do in the next 10 minutes.
Also, let's all just chill out. It's a bit of chit-chat, that's all.
And also, yes, of course I remember my listeners. The shows, we are crafting the best shows for our listeners ever. You're not listening to the first hour and a half, first 90 minutes? What a great guest. Well, great. So, Rich, I forgive you. Hey, here's some good news. I took my... Oh, spoiler alert, I passed. I shouldn't have said good news. Anyway, I took my theory test for my motorcycle today. I don't want to learn motorcycle. All I want is an A1 licence that allows me to ride up to 125 cc's. And everywhere I go, they say, so you're going to do the A2 so you can ride a motorbike? No. Oh, you won't be able to ride a motorbike then. You'll only be allowed to ride scooters up to 125 cc's. Yeah, I've got zero interest in riding a motorbike. I like pootling.
I had the same happen to me today. I'd arranged to go back to the motorbike riding school that I passed my CBT with, and they went, "Oh, nice to see you again. Okay, cool. So, have you ridden a geared bike before?" I went, "No, I'm not interested in riding a geared bike. I've come so I can ride this bike that I've come on." With no L plates on, please.
And with someone holding onto my back.
Well,
you can do pillion. Once you get rid of the L plates, you go pillion.
Yeah. But they were very surprised.
Everyone assumes one wants to ride a motorbike. I've got no interest. I never look at... okay, it might change when I get this licence. I don't think it will. I certainly don't look at motorbikes and go, oh, I love pootling.
It feels edgy enough doing 60 on mine, to be honest.
That's all I want is the wind in my helmet. And Stan, please... all it is, pop into the shops or going out for...
Makes my eyes water, actually, when the wind goes in my helmet.
Going out for an afternoon and having a little picnic somewhere, which we will do. It just makes me feel alive. It makes me feel happy. That's it. It makes me feel happy. Yeah. Riding that to the shops and back makes me feel happy, more so than walking or driving or getting the bus.
Do you know what it is? There's a sort of level of... Because you've got to concentrate so much. You're in that moment. You don't...
It's the exposure.
You can open your visor a little bit. You can smell the cafes and people cutting their lawns, and you just, I don't know, there's a sort of meditation thing to it. I don't know. I just find that I've come back 10 times more relaxed than I went out on it.
So anyway, I went and did the theory test today. You've got to do a theory test, then you've got to do Module 1 and Module 2. And I had the theory test booked for the end of January. And then yesterday I just thought, I think I'm as ready as I'm going to be. Getting most of the test questions right in this book. And I looked online and there was one free today. So I booked it for 2:00 today. And I went into this test centre on a trading estate. And it was this lovely young woman behind the counter, very friendly. And it's all kids in there. It's primarily kids who are learning to drive for the first time in there. With a few older people, but it's mainly kids. And I said to this young woman, I said, I don't know why, but I'm really nervous. I said, because this isn't important. I can drive. This is like just a little bonus thing, and if I fail today, I know I can come back next week and try again. And I said, but I'm really nervous. And you have to empty your pockets and take your coats and jackets off. I wasn't allowed to take my bottle of water in.
Could you take a see-through pencil case in?
No.
Packet of Polos?
Nothing.
What?
They give you a locker, and the key to the locker was on it was on a wooden spoon. Right, I don't know why. I found 20 pence in the locker. Shh, don't tell anyone. And so I put the stuff in the locker, and I had to read a thing. You know that thing when they give you a thing to read and you pretend you just hold it long enough so it looks like you've read it, but I wasn't reading it, and I turn it over.
And what was it about?
I don't know, I didn't read it. Just holding it. Probably like about security or something, I don't know.
All right, yeah.
Then I had to go and sit with another woman who asked me a couple of questions. I gave her my driving licence and she inputted me into a computer and she said, right, just checking your pocket's empty. I said, yeah. She said, I'm going to have to ask you to stand up and just pull out your pockets. So I had to stand up. And I had to do that. I had to pull my pockets out. There's nothing there.
Half the elephant.
And I had to turn around and slap my ass. There's nothing there. But there was something there. It was a £2 coin. I said, oh, there's £2. She goes, I'm going to have to ask you to put that in the locker, please.
Gosh.
£2 coin. So I had the answer, the highway code written
on there. Be a microfiche.
And then you go in and you sit. Sorry if this is old news to everyone that's done it. And Derek and Dion, I will come to you in a minute, promise. Derek, you'll be first. You go and sit in like a little workstation, and there's a computer, and you click on the mouse.
Oh, like a carol, like in the library at university.
Yeah, it's like that.
I used to get some good sleep in there. Yeah, carols they were called.
Okay. And you click on it, and it gives you the instructions. It says you're going to be asked this and this and this. You're going to do the multiple choice, 50 questions first. You've got an hour to do it, and then you can have a 3-minute break where you're allowed to leave if you want, and then you've got to do the hazard awareness.
Did you have a break?
I didn't have a break. No, you've got an hour to do the first section. I did the whole thing in 25 minutes.
Boom.
The whole thing. And so you get these 50 questions in multiple choice, right? And the first 15, looking at it. What my technique was: read the question, don't look at the 4 options. What do I think the answer is? Oh, there it is. Like I would do a Millionaire. Right? Question comes. What do I think the answer is? Okay, I think I know the answer. Is it up there? It's there. Boom, I'm in. And then I was like, it's there. Let me just double check the others. No, it's that. I'm going with that. Right. So first 15. Boom, boom, boom. Slappity slap, slap, slap. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Oh, that feels so good. Naughty lady. Right. Then it gets to question 16, and it was like a technical question about motorbikes.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Hey, I know how to change the oil in ours now.
Oh,
I can show you.
All right, thanks.
There's a little thing down the side.
Brilliant, thank you.
Never seen before.
How would I test it?
You can see through a little hole. Peephole.
These are great days.
No dipstick required.
Well, then, there is one. To ride yours, you are a dipstick. Thank you. So and it got to like question 16, and suddenly it was one I didn't know, and I thought, OK, well, that's fair enough. We're about a fifth of the way through.
About time I had something a bit challenging.
Yeah, about a quarter of the way through. But about time I had a tough one. All right, fine, I'll try and work it out. Can't work it. And then like the next 3, 4, 5, I'm thinking, I don't know the answer.
Uh-oh.
I do not know. There was a couple where it was like between 2, a couple of signs that I didn't know, and I'm pretty good at signs. I didn't know the signs.
What were the signs?
One was a yellow rectangle of 2 children holding hands.
Yeah. Back of the school bus, isn't it?
Yeah, back of the bus. Got it right. Because then it came up: is it school bus or is it children crossing?
No,
and I was thinking
that would be in a.
Yeah, you're right.
What would it be in?
It would be in a
triangle.
For warning. So I got that right. But there was a few, and I just didn't know. I just didn't know. And towards the end of the then I got a load more right. Obviously, then there was a few more. I thought, I don't know. And towards the end of the 50 questions, we got an hour, and I did that in 17 minutes.
Yeah, we heard the yes.
I thought, I think I failed.
Oh.
I was very nervous. And then I just thought, I think I failed. I think I've got too many. There are too many. There aren't enough that I know for 100%. There are a few that I think I failed. Oh well, I'll do the hazard awareness. So then you get to watch these animations. A really good animation, actually. For a while I thought it was film, but it's animation. You have to click the mouse every time like a hazard comes up. But if you click it too many times, you fail. I think you'd have to click it like 13 times.
Yeah. If you click it all the time, it means you're one of those people who goes out the front door and is like, bird!
But every time, there were 14 of them, and they went on for bloody ages. And every time as soon as one started, I clicked, because I could see a hazard.
Yeah.
So every time I clicked. Every
dead.
time it started, hazard. Mainly the hazard was like the road. It was like, click. So I clicked. But I must admit, in the middle couple, I kind of dozed off a bit. Because I zoned out. It was like boring. And I thought, I've already failed. And I was psyching myself up. And then I finished after literally just a little bit over 20 minutes. And you've got an hour and a half, I think, to do the whole thing. And I went out, and I went and sat with the woman who'd signed me in, and I was chatting to her. She said, "Oh, by the way, you don't need to sit with me. You get your results down there at the entrance." So I went to the end, and I thought I failed. So I went to the entrance, opened my locker, got my stuff out, got my £2 out, got the 20 pence out that I'd found.
Dried your eyes.
Dried my eyes, and you have to give them your driving licence so they know it's you, and they give you a letter with it folded over. But so it says your name at the top, but it's folded over the result. And I thought, I'm not opening it in front of them because I look like a dick. So I got out, and I believe, I totally thought I'd failed. I got out, I went round to the corner, I got to my car, and as I approached my car, I thought, well, I'll have a look. I bloody well passed it. But only just. So the first section, 50 questions, you've got to get 43 out of 50. 44. That is a clear pass. Okay? 44. The second one, the hazard perception, you've got to get 44 out of 75. I got 44. Oh, mate!
Jammy.
I got 44. On the double, there's one that's a double hazard. I didn't get any. And there were 3 scenarios where I didn't get any of the hazards.
Was it like, I don't know, a baby in a pushchair that had a knife?
Well, there's one where you're driving along in the country, and I thought, I bet a deer's going to run out in front of me. And yeah, like a herd of deer followed by a dog ran out in front of you.
Fenton!
So I got that, Fenton. So I got that. But, 44.
You
44!
jammy. So, everyone...
The roads are going to get a little bit more... So now I've got a book... Oh, and I'll do that tomorrow. I need the letter. Tomorrow, I'm going to book the practical driving test. Module 1. 20 minutes. But in that, you have to do... Sorry, I hope this isn't too self-indulgent for you, Rich, or you can go and kiss that.
He's showing you the bird.
By the way, Rich, you must have had a bad day, man, because we talk about our days in the show. That's what the show is, you pudding. So, again, peace and love. I love you, brother.
But don't be such a grump.
Don't take your grumpiness out on us. Go on, man. Don't text your abuse to LBC. Don't text abuse to anyone. So, but in the module A, you've got to do the figure of 8, which I really struggled with the figure of 8.
We've got big handlebars, that's why. Wide handlebars.
I'm a big lad.
Oh, I'm a small person on a big handlebarred bike.
So, what we need to do is we need to meet in a car park.
I don't. I've got a lesson.
Have you booked a lesson?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah. I've got an instructor.
What?
He's going to sort me out. I'm not winging it.
Flipping it, really? You've got me on my back.
I told you.
You're a traitor.
I told you.
You're a traitor.
You said, I'm ready to do it. I think I can do it. Oh, like, fair enough.
You're a traitor to IAK MCC.
Well.
Ian and Kath's Motorcycle Club.
The Motorcycle Club is going to need...
Tell him straight after the break, we're going to Derek.
The Motorcycle Club is going to need, a leader. And she should be the high qualified member.
Okay. First one to pass the test is the leader of the Motorcycle Club, yeah?
Yeah, but what if I'm a better driver?
First one to pass the test is the leader of the Motorcycle Club, yeah? Yeah.
I'm not shaking that. I'm not touching your soggy palm.
Spit on your hand and shake my hand. She licked it. So the first one to pass is the leader of the Motorcycle Club,
right.
Yeah?
Well, the first one to take the test isn't necessarily going to be the first one that passes.
Oh, isn't it? The second one to take the test might not be the first one to pass it.
Well, then I should be asking for a refund.
This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.
Say that again. What did you just say to me?
This is from Agence France Presse news agency.
Yeah.
The first nudist restaurant in Paris is being forced to close. Why? Because it can't put enough bums on seats.
No.
Yes.
Didn't we talk about this?
There's one in London, isn't there?
There was about 3 years ago and it closed down.
Oh, really?
Because
why?
people are not... because they couldn't get enough bowls... Hang on, there's another better joke than that.
Let me see.
There wasn't a big enough crack in the market?
No. Couldn't crack the market. Couldn't...
OK, I'll work on that. Come and see me in March.
The first nudist restaurant in the French capital is being forced to close because it cannot put enough bums on seats. Au Naturel will draw the curtain on nude fine dining in Paris.
So Naturel, curtains.
On nude fine dining in Paris in February after a little over a year, despite rave reviews from diners who shed their clothes to slurp oysters and feast on snails, foie gras...
Chow down on kebabs, sausages.
And asparagus. But to avoid financial embarrassment, twins...
What other food looks like a vagina or a penis? You carry on, I'm going to think of vagina and penis-shaped foods. A nice peach?
Mike and Stefan Sada said they were having to close. It's now or never, they urge the curious.
Winkles?
Wanting to experience the last nude diner in Paris.
Plums?
Before they bring down the shutters in February 16th.
Shutters, like...
on February 16th.
Okay, yeah.
We count on you to support us, they wrote on Facebook. We thank everyone for taking part in this adventure. We will only remember the good moments and the great people we met. We are counting on you to support us, they wrote on Facebook. We thank everyone for taking part in this adventure. We will only remember the good moments and the great people we met.
Dirty. And the lovely boobies that we saw. We were ogling the boobies.
The beautiful bottom.
I want to ogle the boobies. Unfortunately, the cleaning of the chairs from the skidders was costing us too much. There were skid marks upon the chair, so we are closing down the restaurant. And there will be no more, will be dirty, naughty lady bombs in the nudie.
Au Naturel, a play on the French phrase for naked, was seen as a sign that naturism was becoming even more mainstream in a country which is the world's top destination for nude tourism. 4 million people holiday in the nude in France every year. With a new summer nudist zone in Paris's biggest park, naked stand-up comedy nights,
dirty, dirty,
and museum visits. I mean, what difference is it going to make to a museum visit having your todger out?
Here's the thing. The reason we wear clothes is because woman gave man apple. God got peed off. Keep your clothes on, heathens.
Activists did not hide their naked ambition to make further inroads for naturists.
I've got a boner to pick with this story.
Mm-hmm. Unlike the nude London restaurant, the Bunyadi, which opened briefly in 2016, the Sada brothers kept their clothes on as they served customers.
Oh, it's one rule for them, another rule for everyone else.
Les perverts.
Les perverts.
Les pervertis. Our role is to put people at ease, said Stéphane.
Yeah,
sure it is. Dirty pervert.
There we go.
Who insisted French law demanded they stay dressed. Oh, it is the law, it's not my fault. As soon as customers enter the dining room, we accompany them to their table and we reassure them that it is not like the whole room is looking at them. Just us! No, looking at them, he told Agence France Presse as it opened. The restaurant's black chair... black chair covers, are you sure?
I mean, that's just like so gross.
Are discreetly changed between sittings with diners shielded from prying eyes outside by a heavy white curtain.
Someone's got a dirty bum hole.
While news of the closure sent a chill through the French naturist world, campaigner Cédric Amato said the restaurant was ahead of its time.
Frederick is a tomato? That was lazy. Frederick is a tomato. I didn't sound anything like what the lady said.
It may have been a little early for an all-round nudist establishment in Paris, he told Agence France Presse. I ate there many times, it was very good, but the fact it was in a residential area and did not have a terrace for good weather counted against it, he said. Oh, they want to go outside! Steam around. We're now on Au Naturel will draw the curtain on nude fine dining in Paris in February after a little over a year, despite rave reviews.
I'm glad it's closed down. People like that need to be taught a lesson that what they're doing is sinning. They're dirty sinners, and they disgust me. Isn't that right, Dion?
Yeah, good evening. I thought he was having someone else on first.
No, well, Derek bottled it.
Yeah, good evening, Ian, Catherine.
Are you naked, Dion?
No, I'm lying in bed. It's nice to have the bed to myself.
Yeah, too much fanny.
What?
Hey.
Yes, mate. You've got to give little Dion a little rest. Otherwise, he's just gonna turn his nose down at it. Let him have a little rest. You got to let the rabbit. The dog, you got to let the hound sniff the hair. So just let them have a little rest. Invite the ladies back in, and you get on with your rumpy pumpy later on in the year. Congratulations. When was the last time you were naked, Dion?
I suppose this morning. Well, yesterday morning, now.
And what were you doing?
Having a shower.
Dirty boy, clean boy. Dirty boy, then clean boy.
When was the last time you were naked?
It was this morning. I had a shower. I've got to say, since I've had my new boiler put in, and since he's had a little adjustment to my waterworks, my original shower in my ensuite, which was never very powerful, man, it's powerful. It's not as hot as it was, but it's more powerful, and that is great news for the spots on my back.
Oh,
yeah, that's right. It's great news.
Why don't you get one of them scrubbers on a stick?
Because I don't like to call women scrubbers, Catherine. I call them.
Well, you just said fanny. Didn't he, Dion?
I didn't.
He was on about.
Didn't say.
Was it seafood that looked like?
Yeah, exactly. I was talking about fanny pie. I did not say fanny in reference. I did not say what you think I said, Catherine. And I think
you did. I think you literally said too much fanny.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. That is fake news.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't. Sam's an idiot.
Sam, can you clip that?
Dion, did I say that or not?
Can't remember you.
There we go. Dion. If you clip that, Sam, I'll clip your fingers and I will send them to your mum.
Dion's blanking it out. It's that bad.
No, what you're doing, Catherine, is libellous. Anyway, okay, now you're saying it. Say it again. What did I say?
I was going to talk about.
Can you clip her saying it, Sam? Thank you, mate. Yes, Dion.
Yeah, I was going to talk about motorbikes.
Yeah.
You were talking about them. I do like motorbikes, but they don't like me.
Oh, what happened? You tried? You're not one of those people that tries to have sex with the exhaust, are you? Because some people do. Oh, he's not saying no.
Must be painful.
Yeah.
No, I'm being serious here. I do like them. I'm thinking of getting one. You know, a small troll bike, something like a 125.
I thought you were agoraphobic.
It doesn't mean I can't ride a bike. I just don't like crowded areas where there's too many people or...
No, I thought you said... I don't make a thing of it. You said you couldn't go out. You couldn't even go to the shops because you couldn't be outside.
No, you weren't listening properly. You weren't there. I was talking to Catherine.
I was at home listening because I was playing Spider-Man. I remember it very, very well.
I don't like going to a pub that's busy or, say, a concert or public transport.
Okay.
I don't like where there's too many people near me, I get anxious.
Okay, so I thought you said you couldn't go to the shops because you couldn't go out.
No, I don't go to the supermarket or anything.
Right, I thought you said you couldn't go to the doctors. I remember you saying you couldn't go to the doctors.
No, I can't do things like that. No.
I booked in for the doctors. Going to get every part of me checked out. I don't mind having a finger at my bum. I'm doing it right now, and I'm up for it. Check me out. I want to live to be 109. Check me out. Touch it. Prod it.
Well, I'm 60 at the end of the month, and I never thought I'd live this long. But there you go, and I'm still pretty good, still pretty fit, and that's it.
And that's what it's all about. And I want to live.
Forever.
I want to live. I embrace life.
I do, but I don't want a miserable life.
No. If I have a miserable life, I want to die. If I get ill, I want to die. But right now, I want to live. And I want to experience and taste and smell and touch and lick and pollinate and do all these wonderful, wonderful things. Strip, spit on.
And get a motorbike.
Examine with
all right. Yeah, we get
a
it.
telescope.
Yes, okay.
Up really close.
What?
I want to take samples. I want to ride.
Just let him say it, Dion, and then it'll stop.
I want to mount.
Okay. So,
I want to insert.
All right, okay. Ian.
I want to intrude.
Right.
Anyway, I've had a good night because Tottenham won.
That's great news, Dean. I'm really glad to hear it.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. It's all about. The switchboard is empty. I tell you what we'll do. Last 30 minutes. Been one of those shows. Call straight to air. You can call it. By the way, we've been blindfolded all night. You didn't like the blindfold experiment?
No, because I'm perpetually. I mean, as it is working with you, we have got this ongoing thing where I get ambushed.
Yeah.
And so I'm continually fearing attack, and so to be in a studio with you when I can't see and when during the breaks you're not speaking is quite frankly terrifying.
Well, okay. Well, then you're going to. Okay. Well, then the next bit of news is going to astound you and probably upset you. But I want you to keep silent. I don't want your knee-jerk reaction. I want your second reaction. I propose we make every Monday hashtag Bird Box Blindfold Monday, where we wear blindfolds, because I think it was the greatest bit of radio we've ever done in my life. I thought it was charming, thought it was insightful. I don't want the knee-jerk reaction.
No, you're
I
not
want
getting
the second reaction, which is the one where you agree with me.
No, here's the thing, right? Let's keep it special.
Yeah,
Let's
so we just
leave
do
it
it
the
once
way
a
it
week.
was.
Yeah, exactly, once a week.
No.
On Monday.
Let's not do that.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
So no.
Okay, we're doing that.
So my first reaction is no, and my second reaction is definitely not.
I would like to hear your third reaction.
Absolutely no effing way.
I'm going to take a punt. Could I please hear a fourth reaction?
You can take your punt and stick it right up where the sun don't shine, and when you get it as far up as it will go, you might see my answer, tiny letters, no.
Could I be so bold?
No.
Sixth?
Okay, right.
Ah, okay, brilliant, we're in. Thank you, Catherine.
On the end of the tiny no,
yes.
Get your telescope out that you want to examine things close up with, which is ridiculous because telescopes are for looking at things that are far away.
Yeah, exactly. That's what makes it so vulgar.
Oh, hang on a second. So
you're going to insert it.
So insert it.
With a light at the end.
Okay, put the light on the end.
Yeah.
Look on the end of the O, the toppermost of the O, and it will say...
What's that noise?
It'll say bugger off.
What's that noise?
I don't know.
Is that, be quiet. It's your bottle! Come here!
It's screaming.
Let me out! I'm water, please don't drink me, I don't want to be wee.
I don't want to be wee again.
For the 8th time?
Yeah.
That's Kath's water bottle
Think
screaming.
of all the people it's been through.
Let's go going.
It's because it knows I'm going to drink. I'm going to neck it.
Please, no!
Stop complaining and get in my belly.
I used to be somebody! I'm a human being! 0344
Shut up.
499 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You'd be very, very welcome to. Call straight to air, last 25 minutes of the show. If that's what you want to do. Have you got any stories? Or
Yeah.
Have you?
Got a really confusing psychological story.
Oh, well, allow
about
me
why
to...
we call each other baby.
We've talked about this before.
Go on, what do you think?
Well, because when you're in love with someone, you call them baby.
Why?
Because you are in love with them. It's just a nice thing to say.
It's a bit weird, though, isn't it, really, when you think about it?
What you do is when you're in love with somebody, you say, hello, baby, and, oh, look, I look like...
Our attachment to the first people who held us.
Do I look like that person?
There was a look of you, yeah.
Yeah, he's a sex offender. Alleged. Yeah.
Our attachment to the first people who held us, rocked us, enjoyed us and told us we were wonderful. That's surely why during really good lovemaking you feel in touch with your deepest, most valuable self.
Yeah.
And that's
It's like,
what you
but
call
you
a
wouldn't
baby!
say-
Yeah!
we have talked about this before, and it is weird that someone you're having sex with, oh, yeah, baby. It's like you wouldn't go, oh, toddler. Oh, yeah.
God!
Oh, yeah, child. Oh, child. Maybe.
Yeah, but some women do the whole daddy thing, don't they?
Oh, teenager. Oh, you wouldn't say that. Yeah, the daddy
thing is weird.
Yeah, let's try it. Okay, yeah.
Oh, stop it. No, come on.
Baby.
Oh.
Yeah, baby, that's it. Yeah. Oh, baby. Yes, baby. Ooh, toddler. Sorry, where did you go? Hello. That's it, baby. Baby. Oh, yeah. 18-month-old. What? Sorry, what? It's weird, and it is a weird thing. I'm making slightly offensive jokes, but we have talked about it before, and it is a strange phenomenon that baby, we associate with a baby, but it is a term that is used during sex. But it's nothing. It's not meant. The daddy thing is a different thing because that is some kind of role play that would.
I think it's about right. I think it's weird to me, but
baby or daddy,
the daddy thing.
Oh, but the daddy's a role play thing.
The daddy thing is actually just a kind of submissive thing, isn't it? Yeah, daddy, make him feel powerful, and then.
Well, I think for some it is. I think for some it is possibly there is a thing for wanting to have sex with their dad. Yeah, I know. I'm not saying that lightly, and I don't. I'm sure actually it probably is offensive to a lot of people. I hope it's not triggering, but no, I'm sure there is a minority of people to whom it's like there is a male thing for like nana. What's the nappy people?
Yeah.
But again, nappy people are happy people.
But it's the
Get the phone, Sam! What the hell are you doing biting your thumb? The phone is ringing! Get the phone! The hell is wrong with this guy?
You're frightening.
I'll get the phone!
Speak
Straight to air. I do apologise, Sam. I'm so sorry. That's totally out of order of Catherine.
Oh!
You apologise to him. It's straight to air, Kath. Like I said. Sorry, Sam.
Oh, Sarah.
I don't know what's gotten into her.
Sam, sorry, Daddy. Oh, God!
I'm sorry, baby Sam. Hello, line 1, you're on the wireless.
Hello, is that me, yeah?
Yes, it is.
Hello. Yeah, you know we're talking about saying, like, baby and that. Is that not the same as people who are, like the women dressing up as schoolgirls? That's just as weird.
Well, again, we have mentioned this. The schoolgirls thing...
The baby thing is more mainstream.
Yeah. The schoolgirl thing I get, actually, to a certain extent, right? Because, listen, a woman in a short skirt, that's kind of sexy, right? But...
I agree with that, like...
But we were all genetically programmed to, at some point in our life, be sexually attracted towards schoolgirls.
Yeah, but not when you're 47.
Well, no, of course not.
But you know that that's a woman.
Yeah, I know that. So trying to sort of, like, dress them up as a child is a bit wrong.
Again, I've struggled with it, but actually I'm kind of all right with it. It's not my thing. But I'm kind of all right with it because I don't see it as a substitute for actually having sex with, let's say, a 14-year-old girl. I see it as harking back to the kind of first sexual stirrings when you are 12, 13, 14, and you are generally sexually aroused by, if you're a heterosexual guy, by schoolgirls, and if you're a heterosexual girl, you're aroused by schoolboys.
That's not the same thing as driving along at 3:30 and checking out actual schoolgirls.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I get what you're saying. Like,
listen.
You know, if it was the other way around, then I'd have a tie that was like 2 inches long, a load of spots. And, let's be honest, not to brag, I'd only be lasting 30 seconds.
Well, yeah, I know. Well,
but you know what? You've just imagined it. There's someone in the world who would like that.
But also, maybe that's it. Maybe it is.
I suppose you've got a number, haven't you?
No, I'm afraid not.
Maybe that's it, though, because at 40, I've got tricks. I mean, I was a virgin at 15, but I've got tricks that I certainly never had as a teenager. And maybe that's it. You go back to that era in your mind, but you've got the tricks and the skills of a grown, and the calloused fingers of a grown man. And you're making love to a grown woman.
The callous fingers, that's disgusting.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, you want to know how they're calloused. But, women, bigger, older women in short pleated skirts, I can do that. That works for me. I could have sex with a grown woman dressed up as a schoolgirl. I haven't. And I certainly wouldn't be going to seek it out. But I could work. But does it work the other way?
I went to school disco.
Right.
That was a thing when I was in my
mid-20s,
right? And it was funny. It was funny because we would only really been out of school for about 6 years anyway. Oh. And actually our mums all still had our jumpers, so we all had proper uniforms on.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
That's how I found my friends. I looked for our school uniform, and that was a weird sensation, doing that again and going, there's the black jumpers, that's us. I think we took it quite literally. We actually went as if we were like 14-year-olds and, not kind of, I'm the Britney Spears version of going to school. We were regulation uniforms. But there was, there were other people there who obviously knew what the score was with that thing and, tying their shirts up and stuff. And honestly, I found it fun. I thought it was fun.
And maybe that's part of the thing. That in those environments, it's funny. You don't see so many of those school events anymore. They're kind of...
I think it was in Camden.
Right. They were a bit late.
Was it at this Camden Assembly?
I don't think there's an assembly in Camden.
Yeah, I drive past it on the way home.
Electric Ballroom?
No, it's got it looks like a prefect badge on the outside of it rings a bell.
I don't know. But it's big late 90s, early 2000s. But maybe that's partly it, 'cause it's a love. I do know that there is, because I've stumbled across it, there is pornography where it is a woman who's clearly in her 20s but is playing the role of a teenager. They always say they're 16 or they're 18, but you kind of know, right, they're supposed to be younger and there is an older man. So there is obviously that going on as well. I don't know. The horses for courses.
Well, yeah. Well, it's there is a weird thing there, and whether or not it's right, and it is something else, isn't it?
What do we know, guys? When it gets down to the nitty gritty, what do we know? You're listening to Talk Radio.
After hours amusement for anarchists, air hostesses, and jet-lagged Antipodeans.
Can I, Cobbers? Can I crash on your floor?
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Last 10 minutes or so of the show. Before Paul Ross comes in, if you want to give us a call straight to air, thank you very much indeed. And again, apologies for that outburst, Samuel. 0344 499 1000. Here's what we need. Today, geeks get a first peek at tomorrow's must-have gadgets. Okay. The Consumer Electronics Show is the grandest tech event on the planet, with offerings that could be the best thing since sliced bread, such as a machine that bakes and vends loaves. Huh? Other predicted hits include the Ovis hands-free suitcase, which follows its owner.
No.
Yes.
No. Not a no. In the airport. What if it gets mixed up?
Using built-in sensors to avoid passers-by. Google it. Ovis hands-free suitcase. Buyers will have to be pretty loaded as it costs £626.
I like to keep my hands on my suitcase.
No, I want to follow me. Follow me. Suitcase. Buy.
A smart suitcase.
Can I buy it? Okay. You going to talk?
I'm looking at it.
Oh, whatever.
It's like one of them golf trolley things.
Yeah, that follows you. Yeah. Golf trolleys don't follow you.
Drive you nuts. What if everyone's got one? It'll be like a crash.
No, it won't crash. It avoids everything. Hello, Line 1. You're on the wireless. Jeez. Hello, Rochdale. You disgust me. LG is a whole new angle on TV sets with its LG signature OLED R. A flexible, rollable screen.
Oh, I've seen them.
It curls into a base when not in use. I drove past a shop today, and it was a TV that becomes invisible when you switch it off.
Oh. God, can you imagine?
Well, yeah.
It's bad enough when you go, where's the remote? Where's the telly? Down the back of the sofa.
Come on, buddy, I'll give you that. That is what I'm talking about. That's why I work with you. That's why I get paid the big bucks, so that
you can steal my ideas.
Yeah. No, so what I think it does, I'm sure I drove past it. So what I think it does is it must have cameras behind it, so that when you turn it off, it displays what's behind it.
Yeah.
So it looks transparent.
Is that the one? You can stick it on the wall and it just looks like the rest of the wallpaper.
Yeah, sure, why not?
I've seen one that looks like a mirror.
Well, no, that's different.
I've seen, so there's all these ideas.
No,
Hang
on, Kath. Hang on. Kath's running out of steam. So, it's all these ideas.
What I'm saying is...
You know where to go with the
What's wrong with the normal telly?
So
I find
it's
it
all
weird.
these ideas.
I still find it weird that there's no box on the back of my telly.
Oh, God, they're so light, aren't they?
And cheap.
My telly's 50 inches. I can pick it up by myself. You just say they're cheap. And I remember I had like one of those big rectangular ones.
Yeah.
And I bought it because when I bought my first flat and we had like a spare room, and I said we're turning this into a games room. So I bought a 350 quid like big widescreen TV, and I got it up the stairs on my own, and then I dropped it back down the stairs, and it didn't work. So I took it back and I said, this TV doesn't work. And they said, did you drop it? I went, no.
Down the stairs, no.
No, of course not. So they swapped it, and I had another one, but it weighed a ton.
Yeah.
You could lift them up yourself. Yeah. Crappy speakers, though.
Yeah, but the telly's now got crappy speakers. You've got to buy...
That's what I'm saying.
All right. Because you've got to buy like an extra bar, or, one of them soundbar things.
The posh TV that we had in the living room had speakers on wires that you would put behind yourself to have surround sound, but they were on wires, and they had like little stands. And so you'd have it behind the sofa. And I spent so much of my time adjusting... to get the, you have to sit in the right spot and adjusting the speakers.
Yeah,
you go, there's a bird behind.
What if you wanted to sit on the chair?
Yeah, rubbish actually. And I know a lot of people who, when they're like buying their first properties and stuff, would buy these big expensive TVs, and they'd have the wires before it became Bluetooth. Then before we got rid of it, but have the wires, and then have the wires put underneath the carpet, so they integrated in. Never integrate speaker technology into your house. Because I remember going in like houses in the 90s where in the sort of 70s they'd had speakers, but they weren't connected by wires. It was like, when you go in, probably not now, but in old hospitals, and you'd plug in these headphones that you'd got there into like hospital radio. It wasn't wired, it was tubes. Mm-hmm. And they would pipe it. They were piping the music down to you through tubes, like blowing it through. And this was how a lot of these speaker technologies were done in houses in the 70s. It was just like piped.
I seem to remember people having like speakers suspended from the like ceiling in that bracket. Silly idea. If your speakers break, then what are you going to do?
There is even a cat bowl. Oh, this is good. This is good. Now I need this with 3 cats now.
Two of whom aren't talking to the other.
No. There is a cat bowl that uses face recognition to lift its lid so only the family moggy can feast. So you can have it programmed for each cat. And for lonely people without even a pet for company, cute robot Lovot.
Oh, I told you about this the other week.
Who adores Beery. Oh, jeez. It's disgusting. Someone green screen that man's face out. It was yesterday, Paul. It was yesterday.
Oh, sorry.
It's not today.
It was this motion as he came to.
The claw.
Also, I've taken this.
He's got a flannel on his head.
It's a cloth from the kitchen and it smells of curry.
Oh, mate.
Well, it could have been worse.
I'm helping you out. I'm trying.
It's disgusting. But that's now... No, don't bring it here. Now your whole head is going to smell like that.
It's an improvement for me.
Yeah. Did you hear we had Mike McCartney in?
I was listening around there. I was
Wasn't he
overawed.
great?
And I think I sent you a little tweet that he was his birthday Monday, and it was the Phantom Flanfit, John's birthday on Friday.
Gorman.
Yeah, John Gorman's birthday on Friday. What a lovely guest he was. What a chump.
Oh, he was great.
Stories.
One of those guests where
this is horrible.
Dirty boy, where they can speak for England, but also the stories are worth it. He to cue Jimi Hendrix in, he had to tap him on the knee.
He was still telling me stories as I put him in the cab. He's not nearly done.
And you know, he's obviously close. I wasn't going to mention Paul. He brought up Paul, but he's obviously very close to his brother.
Our kid.
Our kid. Oh, well, I mean,
Fab Gear, our kid.
For a Beatles fan and for a fan of 60s and 70s music, that was. But for me,
the minute you mentioned, I thought you were Elton John's brother. He's got a story about Reg.
He told him he'd change his name to Elton John while they were having a slash. Right. Paul Ross, what is on your show tonight?
Well, you've been mentioning the Consumer Export Show, which is a double title for one of the greatest, I think. I'm not a techno geek. I'm not like you know, Ian. I'm not really into all that. But we went live to it yesterday on the programme.
Oh, you were there.
Which is fantastic. And we've got an expert on it for today for us, a guy called Scott McGrade. He's a great guy. Talking about just some of the weird and wonderful things that might be inhabiting our lives, including the belt that tells you when you've eaten too much.
Right. Now,
sends a message to your phone.
That's not the bladder monitor.
That's called Welt, this thing. The bladder monitor is going to be discussed as well. Also, I love the sound of... You've seen those Nespresso-type coffee capsule machines?
Yes.
They've got one from Korea. I know you're not a drinker, but I am. For beer.
Oy, dirty.
It makes pale ale or lager a pint about 40p. Can you imagine how many student homes would be having a whip round for that bad boy for breakfast? On the cornflakes. Lager on the cornflakes.
Naughty soda stream.
Caning that naughty soda stream.
That's what they should call it. That's a marketing genius idea.
Also on display at the Las Vegas show is a discrete monitor that tells wearers when to pee by checking their bladder with ultrasound. I mean, I kind of know when I need to pee. I haven't been caught out very often for a while.
No.
I know when to pee.
How long?
What time is it? I mean... I must admit, in this new place, I've still not quite worked out the toilet bowl location for in the night. And I quite often stagger to the loo and tinkle, but I'm not hearing the splashing.
Oh, and she's got carpet down as well.
Yeah, there's carpet there. It's not great.
I think when you get to my advanced stage, you realise in the middle of the night, seated.
Yeah, if I sit down, I wake up, though.
Hey, you pee in a somnolent fashion.
Yeah, I do.
What do you dream of when you're doing that?
Well, I'm sort of awake, but I try not to open my eyes because I don't want to wake up.
So that bird box challenge was a breeze for you, then?
Yes, definitely. I try not to open my eyes because if I were to pull my pajamas down, I've really got.
You sleep in pyjamas?
I've really got into pyjamas in the last couple of months. Yeah, I just.
You have a little folded hanky in the top pocket.
No, I've not. But I've bought a full pyjama set for the first time in
like
years.
the kid out of the snowman.
Oh, I love it. I'm really getting into it. I'm embracing approaching 50.
I see. You know what I see in your future?
Yeah,
a cravat.
Yeah. I've rocked a cravat before. What else have you got apart from gadgets?
Well, we're going back to a story we covered last week about Rendlesham Forest and the UFO sightings in 1980, late December after Christmas.
Yes.
A new theory or a new suggestion emerged last week. We've got the man to whom it was conveyed. He was always suspicious about it. The idea was it was a payback for what we know happened, a special forces invasion of the American base there to test it. Those guys got caught. They got a bit of a battering from the Americans, and they were constantly told they were aliens, i.e. they shouldn't be on the base.
Right.
The theory is they were giving payback. The man who printed that has got real doubts about it, but he heads something called, which is brilliant, only a year old. He's an academic from Hallam University, Sheffield, the Centre for Contemporary Legend.
Oh.
So we're talking about contemporary legends on the show. We kind of know what they are, but they change all the time and mutate.
That's a great title.
So he's interested. And also we've got a bit of paranormal activity going on. We've got a woman who broadcasts quite regularly for paranormal radio. and an awful lot of their output is something that's been actually experimented with since the Great War, which is about using effectively hearing things in white noise.
Oh, was it EVP? Is that was electronic voice?
That's what they call it now. But I mean, I hadn't realised it goes all. W.B. Yeats experimented with it because he was a big occultist, a big paranormal guy. So we're talking a bit about paranormal radio and the usual old tosh.
Yeah, I read a few books about it. I remember the Unexplained magazine years ago gave away like a flexi disc.
That old thing. Everyone's into chat these days.
Hey,
Chat, it's fate.
When's the new Chat, It's Fate coming out?
Well, I've got February's in December, so I'm hoping sometime I'll get Marches
because those guys know the future.
Well, Paul Ross is coming after news. Thank you, Sam. Thank you very much, Catherine. Thank you to Mike McCartney. Look, I've got my signed CD. Lovely, thank you very much indeed. Don't forget, podcasts are plenty. There's this, there is the Rabbit Hole.
I'll do Mike as a bonus tomorrow.
Mike will go out as a bonus. There's the Flicks capacity. There's loads of stuff you can go find. Google our names, for crying out loud. Stay tuned. Coming up after the news, it's Mr. Paul Ross. You are listening to... There's no station like it. It's Talk Radio.